very warm welcome, everybody, to Online Darts' final coverage of the 2023 Kazoo UK Open. I'm still in my wonderful mother's house, and joining me, Jarlathik, and I hope you're all good, is the one, the only fantastic Northerner and Northeast band that we have, Daniel Simpson. Dan, a very good afternoon, mate. Hope you're all good. How are you recovering?
I'm all right. Like, today is the best I've felt. I've been grim for a week, incredibly grim, but I have managed to sort of catch my breath a bit today, and I'm feeling like I've got a little bit more energy. I am thankful that, because you and I have both done some of these streams and we have bled into 6 and 7 hours. I am glad of a relatively short session this afternoon.
Yes.
But I'm hoping to give what little energy I have to what is, like, I thrive, as pretty much everybody who watches this knows, on absolute chaos. The more chaotic, the better, which means that Q School is my favourite stream of the year, but that is shortly followed by the chaos that is the UK Open. It's just completely bonkers, isn't it? And that is the best thing about it.
It certainly is, mate. Absolutely, it's one of those real bonkers days, and I for one, am very much looking forward to a reasonably chilled afternoon. I think, actually, in comparison to Friday afternoon and Friday evening. I was going to give you some stick about the Carabao Cup, but I'm feeling generous, so I'm not going to do that. And I've just obviously looked around and I've just seen the score in the other.
Yeah, I was going to say, I just saw that.
We're not going to do that here.
That's very generous of you, and I would like to think if I was in the same position, I would do the same. I can't promise that would be the case.
I tell you what, that is more than anything. I think it's because you got COVID and you're 1-0 down. If you weren't 1-0 down already, then I might have given you a bit of stick. No, it's all fine. Hello, everybody else who's watching us here in the chat room. Appreciate it. It's not as many as we had last night, but hopefully that'll come throughout the day. We are live with the All 4 Balls multi-board room. Is done by the end of today. On Dart Connect right now, we are warming up with the 2 games in the outside boards. Adam Gavlas against Kevin Dowitz will start us off, and then it is Richie Burnett against Ted Everts. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to put like the banner around it in a minute and actually and create a banner so we can give you all the scores as they happen. But while I'm doing that, Dan, what was your takeaway, do you think, from yesterday? I appreciate you were very ill, so I'm conscious you may not have watched too much of it. But what was your takeaway yesterday? Again, some, as it always is on UK Friday, some absolutely brilliant stories.
Oh yeah, and so, you know, I wasn't pretty. I've done not a lot of social mediaing this week, but there was something that you posted yesterday, to be honest, on Twitter. And if I could have had it blown up onto a poster and stuck up in Minehead, I absolutely would have done, on a billboard, as to the reason why Gerwyn Price was on the main stage yesterday is because 16-year-olds who are in year 11 and who are doing their GCSE mocks next week, playing against former world champions on the main stage, is exactly what the UK Open is all about. That's why this is a good tournament that everybody flocks to and enjoys. So yeah, absolute headliner. There was some incredible fight backs, some really, really tight games. We saw a lot of noble legs. ITV4 using the noble leg, which I think somebody might have picked up from the online dart streams, but let's not moan too much about that.
I'm happy with that. If people are using it, then great. We love it.
Absolutely. And so the more that people on the media are discussing nobles and bagels, the more I think we are certainly bleeding out into popular culture. But just, yeah, I think we just
ever been called anything popular.
No, I just think it was a really good day. So now we haven't seen any huge surprises thus far in terms of seeds. There was a couple, of let's say bigger clashes. I suppose the standout one for me was probably Ryan Searle against Dobie, 2 players that are playing particularly well. Neither would have wanted to come across the other so early in this type of a draw. But beyond that, I don't think we've seen too many shocks. This afternoon, let's see how the seeds get on, because or those that have entered at round 4 rather than seeds. We're not seed this tournament, do we? But yeah, exciting times ahead, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. I think more than anything, again, there's that sort of element of the UK Open that everyone knows and expects there to be stories, and that's the case, and that's brilliant. As Dan is actually going to hopefully be able to share his stream with us a bit later on.
It looks like that's working now, Jar. I think I've cracked it. I've got for the minute. Obviously, I've only got the the warming up games, but once we're up and running, I think I'll be able to slide the two certainly the two boards off the not shown anywhere else onto there.
Yes. Yeah. Don't forget, by the way, if you do want to watch it this afternoon, if you sign up now to PDC TV, you'll be able to sign up for £2.99 and watch all of the rest of the multi-board action. And as well, you can watch stage 2 tonight. So just for £3 for the day, you can watch PDC TV, or of course it's live on ITV4. Make sure, of course, that you like and subscribe if you haven't already done so. That'd be great if you could do that for us this afternoon. We're going to be chatting away for the next probably around about 4 hours or so. I'm hoping nothing more than that, because I'm supposed to be away at 5 o'clock, so I've got to go to do a gig later on tonight. So that should be interesting. I think let's just go through. We'll tell you what, we'll go through the games, actually. I think that's probably the best thing to do so far. So let's go through the games then this afternoon, and this is what is coming up. Gerwyn Price against Jeffrey Desvant is going to get on the main stage in just a couple of moments' time. Michael Smith taking on Luke Humphreys next up. And then in probably the tie of the round, in my opinion, Martijn Kleermaker then taking on Michael van Gonen in a little Dutch affair. And then Peter Wright, who came through a real test against Stephen Bunting last night, will play Callum Ridds. On stage 2, the defending champion, Danny Noppert, gets a stage game, and rightly so. He takes on Willie O'Connor. A clash of stars in this one. It should be a pacey, no, not a clash of stars, sorry, a clash between two players looking to get back towards their best. Kim Huybrechts against Gary Anderson on stage 2. Then, in my opinion, one of the games of the round, Dirk van Dijvenbode against Nathan Aspinall. That should have been main stage. There's no doubt in my mind on that. And then it's Mervyn King against Dimitri van den Berg to close off the afternoon. Stage 3, Richie Burnett taking on Ted Evans. Adrian Lewis, who looked really good yesterday, he plays Martin Schindler. And then it's Joe Cullen against Karol Sedlacek, and Johnny Clayton against Jose de Sousa to end the day. Rematch, of course, the 2021 Premier League final. And stage 4, Adam Gavlas against Kevin Dowitz in a Dev Tour's Dream. Luke Woodhouse against Andrew Gilding. Chris Dobie, the Premier League player, of course, taking on the Masters winner, taking on Brendan Dolan. And Steve Beaton taking on Rob Cross in the final game on stage 4. Out of interest, tie the round for you, do you think there, Dan?
Well, I mean, it's almost impossible to not, if at this stage you've got 2 of the top 5 playing each other, then it has to be, doesn't it? So very, very difficult to not just go Smith, Humphreys, but I will also say, because of what I've seen from both of these players in the last 24 hours, good and bad, I'm really excited about Peter Wright, Callum Ridds, because Callum Ridds has been playing some really good stuff. He hasn't quite found the form that took him deeper in the match play a couple of years ago. That he hasn't been able to find that level of, and certainly found it consistently. Peter Wright still is looking for something. 100%. Yes. Yesterday I'm still not quite sure. He did remarkably well to come back against Bunting, but never looked dominant in moments in that game. That could be a really interesting tie. But I suppose that it's quite it's tempting to immediately go for those towards the top end of the rankings. There's a little bit of me that likes the look of Adrian Lewis against Martin Schindler. That looks like it could be a little bit interesting. The Gary Anderson that we saw yesterday against Kim Huybrechts, who's recently won a Players' Championship event, these are just little things that tick in. There's a lot on offer there. Whilst it's easy to look to the top 6, top 8 for your box office games, there's a lot of potentially absolute slobber knocker games.
For me, there's only one game I'm keeping an eye on: Steve Beaton against Rob Cross. Up the beaten. I love Rob. I've got a lot of time for Rob, but We all love a bit of beating coming back into form. More of this.
And there is that non-stop, and it's always been the same love for. While Steve Beaton is universally loved on Planet Darts, the crowd at Minehead seem to always have a special place for Steve Beaton, and he's very much benefiting from that. Every time that man's name gets pulled out of a draw, there is some whoops and cheers across Minehead. It's great.
And speaking of Minehead, hello, Mr. Lee Boyce. Good afternoon from centre stage. Fireball shots are not my friend. Boycey, I'm going to say one thing and one thing only, and it could have been a lot worse. Just get yourself a pitcher of wine. You know?
Yeah, we know how to do it properly, don't we, Jar?
God, I don't think I've ever been more worried after a day. No, actually, I tell a lie. The Saturday when we were in Minehead for the UK Open 3 years ago, for Gob and I, that Sunday was tough. But all I remember on that day was that I couldn't stand the fact that they had no Magners left, because they had on the cider that we had, they only had Thatchers. That was it.
Yeah.
When we went with you. And so I started my afternoon and my day drinking on Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, I remember that. That was and I remember thinking, oh, Jarlath's got, you know, when you just think, oh, Jarlath's having a breakdown. Like, that's what he's doing. Yeah, his first drink of the day. What do I think? Can I have 2 Jaeger bombs, please, Bam? And oh, Jarlath's having a breakdown. It's great. Like, this will be fun to watch for the next 5 hours.
And nothing's going to change, by the way, when we go next year, Mr. Simpson. Nothing will
Quite
change.
right, nor should it.
Yeah, there's going to be a pitcher of wine with our name on it, I suspect.
Well, actually, I'm just going to put a box in the boot of the car, I think.
Yeah, Dom says, any game started? No, not just yet. However, we do have Jeffrey Deswine coming on the main stage here at the UK Open. So fingers crossed we're going to have that coming up. And Danny Noppert and William O'Connor, I think, is just about getting underway as well. So I don't think we're going to be waiting long for the games to get underway. James, very good afternoon to you, mate. Hope you're all good. Boycey, this is not the time. No, come on now. This is
not the time nor the place. He's actually, I think what he's referring to when he's on about recovering from Wembley, I believe Mr. Boyce was down at Wembley Arena. Something to do with the S Club 7 reunion. Always been in the fan club, something like that. That's his. That's where he's been at.
Absolutely. Well, we are, like I say, just waiting for the games on the outside boards to go live. Normally they go, to be fair, pretty much bob on, in all fairness. They're normally pretty handy at getting underway bang on 12:45. Not the case so far today. So we are just a little bit worried as to why that's happening. However, Gezi has just walked up onto the main stage. So I don't think we're going to be waiting much longer. Boycey, what's going on with what's going on there? Why in centre stage are they not gone on yet? Yeah, by the way, you are right. There ain't no party like an national party. Why have they not got underway? Are they actually warming up? We'll see how we go. Right, so sit back and relax and enjoy with us this afternoon. Just have it on in the background. I appreciate there's a lot of sport going on. I mean, I might have a little bit of a little bit of a look at what's going on in the F1 qualifying a bit later on, or as my wonderful partner calls it, watching traffic.
Yeah, that's a sport I've laboured with, and never quite been able to really fall in love with.
I get that. Well, I can tell you they have just started the games, and I can see Mr. Simpson in the background doing us a massive favour and getting both games set up for us. And as if by magic, here they are. Thank you, Mr. Simpson.
Now that people won't realise what, for a man of my technological capabilities, what an achievement that is. And I did promise him a little shout out as well. The youngest member of the online darts team, young Billy, who's kindly, without really having much of a choice in the matter, donated the television from his bedroom in order for me to get that second screen set up.
Fantastic work. Well done, little Billy. Hopefully one day we'll be able to go down to Minehead with him, because I appreciate he loved his first day out of the darts back in December.
Oh, it was It was so good. And what's been quite nice is because it's difficult, it's because he's only little, it's difficult taking him like night times. And so anything with an afternoon session is great, which is why we're really looking forward to the World Seniors calendar this year, because we've got some bits to get to. And also, in terms of us being in the Northeast, we can get to Blackpool quite easily. We can get to York quite easily. Like, you know, the World Seniors is very much looking like the venue for me and Billy for the next 12 months.
Absolutely.
Match play doesn't line up with school holidays again, which is very frustrating because they've missed it for the second year in a row, missed it by a week.
That's strange. They normally do that, don't they, to be fair to PDC?
It's virtually always worked where that first week of the school holidays is when the match play was on. And for the last 2 years in the calendar, it hasn't worked. And it just means that Sunday afternoon session that would be naturally when I would take Billy, he's due back at school at Northeast on the Monday morning, so we've not been managed to pick it up. You're live on the stream, but the first leg in the game between Adam Gavalas and Kevin Dukes is a break of throw, which could be a very key break of throw because it's come very early. Kevin Dukes follows it up with a max, so off to a good start in this one.
In fact, actually, all 3 of the 4 ties have actually got a break of throw to start with in this game, because Gezi Price has just broken the throat of Jeffrey Zvan. Remember, of course, Jeffrey Zvan beating Michael Van Gerwen in the match play back in 2018, if memory serves me correctly, on that one, completely out of nowhere. And as you can see there, Ted Evans has broken the throw on Richie Burnett as well. So Danny Noppert has got 20 left in order to try and keep to get back level with William O'Connor, and he has just taken out the double 10 to do just that. So both have held their early doors. Appreciate it's only 2 legs, but 110 plays 106 in that game. If we can keep that up, that would be lovely. Very warm welcome to everybody else joining us as well. Jane Smith saying, yeah, Everts versus Richie for a tour card. I reckon this early in the season. Nah, I won't say it's that early. Purely and simply, I think because there's so many more time. If this was October, I'd go, absolutely, this is a race for a tour card. But I think that there's so many more times that you could qualify for so many Euro tours as well. I still think that this is not just yet. Simon's back in, like he was yesterday. Thanks very much.
Yeah, and it's also, it's going to come down to, and it generally does, doesn't it, every year, is whether or not you pick up that tour card or not. It shouldn't come down to whether or not you have one big run in a major. Certainly there's lots and lots and lots of opportunities for them to pick up bits and pieces. Because let's be honest, it's not going to be £1,000, £2,000, £3,000 between places there, is it? It's going to, as it does all the time, come absolutely to the wire.
Definitely. Not the best of starts for Aaron Gavlas. He's averaging 64 early on. I'm sure the average there will increase.
One would like to think so.
Danny Noppert has left himself 1, 2, 4, and he's going to get 6 darts at it here. Is he going to go for the 18? I doubt it. Oh, no, he is. Okay. Will he set it up and go for the ball? No. Sets it up beautifully and hits and sits tops. Good ball management, that. There's William O'Connor. Has got 180 left, so it could be an early break of throw coming here for Danny Noppert. He wants tops. Goes inside. Goes on the side on the 10s and then pings it. So we've got an early break of throw here. So all 4 games have got a break of throw already early on.
Ted Everts there with a 104 checkout. To be completely honest, he could have done it. He could have had another 3 darts at it because Richie Burnett was nowhere near. But 2-0 up to Super Ted. Indeed. And we do just have a collection of players that are just starting to pull away from their opponents already, don't we, here?
There's an opportunity for Desvan to get the first leg on the board. He misses inside on tops and 10s on the outside that time. Price is leaving himself double 8. He hates that side of the board, but he pings it in there and he gets a double breaker throw. So Gerwin Price 3-0 up early on against your man Jeffrey the Swan.
Well, that's more like it from Richie Burnett.
Yeah. Do you know what? Like, with the best win in the world to them on this one, I can't see this game going quickly, if that makes sense.
No. I think I quite agree.
Oh, Gezzy!
Faff.
5 perfect darts. Thought he was going to go for the 6th. Already seen him hit, remember, 3 9-darters in the calendar year in 2022. Price that's keen for winning this weekend must be warmer in Minehead than Exeter. Yeah, I think as well at the same time, though. I mean, when was the last time Gezzy won anything? Certainly on the telly.
Oh, some time ago.
Slam 21, I'm going to say. On the telly. Like, I appreciate you've got...
Yeah, so I was just trying to think of odd little, World Series events and bits and pieces since then, but...
They don't count.
No, I can't. Yeah?
Pretty solid start this from Gezzy, just the 105 average.
Yeah, Slam 21.
Gezzy's back on the 9. He's been threatening the 9 so far. I think he's got at least 4 perfects in each leg of the last 5. Doesn't hit that time, but again, Jeffrey does not like. The thing is, everyone was talking about last time when you talked about Thomas Banks. You mentioned it yesterday, though, Dan. It was the fact that like people were going, it was obviously going to be the win and all that. But I mean, Gezzy afterwards was averaging 117 in the first 5 legs. Like people were not going to. Oh, yeah, of course, he won the World Series finals. I'm talking about ranking titles. They don't count.
Yeah.
But yeah, you mentioned it. Oh, is he? Oh, okay. I thought he busted his score then. Right, so this is for Tops. Tops for a 5-0 whitewash.
Oh.
And he kisses the flight in, unfortunately, on that one.
William O'Connor done a tremendous job getting himself down to 32 and knock it back on 250. He is just starting to play his way back into this game, I think, the Magpie.
Was that a 10-darter?
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't. It was a 16. I thought it was
a
10.
Was it? Well, I've looked away for a few there.
But yeah, World Series Finals 2022. Yes, Harry. I mean, I don't know if that counts, to be honest.
I was going to say, I'm not sure if. I mean, to be honest, if I made it, I'd be telling the world, but if it counts for Gezzy, I don't know if he'd consider it that.
Remember that, as John McDonald always used to say, Michael Smith he might be the reigning and defending world champion, but he will never not be the Shanghai darts master.
Hey, dear me. Ted Everett's got to get this 52, you feel. Otherwise, that breakthrough he took initially in the game is going to go. And he can't do it, Ted Everett. And Richie Burnett's now got 3 darts to get rid of 18 to level this up and get the match back on throw.
Danny Noppert misses. 2 darts to make a 4-2 lead. So O'Connor's back for 140, won't go.
Opportunity squandered there by Richie Burnett.
By the way, Gezzy Price missed those darts and he's now 4-1 ahead against Jeffrey the Swan as Danny Noppert goes 4-2 up. Gezzy averaging 108 in that first session.
He's looking like he fancies it, isn't he, this week? Just that level of scoring, and I suppose the best word I can find for it is intensity that Gezzy Price likes to work himself up. He's playing himself into a frenzy, isn't he, to a degree? And he certainly does look up for it this week.
Could have got him at 7-1 at the start of the week. That was a very long price on a man who loves Minehead. He's been runner up there 3 times. Once in the Players and twice in the UK Open. He knows what it takes to get through weekends like this.
Adam Gavlas got to take this double 20 out, surely.
That's the go.
If you... Oh, goodness me, Adam Gavlas.
Do you know what? That makes it more annoying, I think, for me about the fact that Luke Littler didn't get through yesterday. I'm not knocking Adam at all. Like, you know, he fully deserved it. It was a great game. But can you imagine if Luke Littler was still in this tournament? Just taking those chances.
Yeah, it's just, and it was just, I mean, this is, it's got really scrappy this leg now, hasn't it? Really scrappy indeed. Richie Burnett just took the foot off the pedal there, 140-180, a trebleless visit after that. Just not quite Richie Burnett. He keeps looking, he keeps showing signs of getting right into this game, Richie Burnett. And every time, he just seems to slacken off and drop it a bit. And Ted Everts is there poised. If Ted Everts finds 2 trebles here, which he does, Richie Burnett now on the back foot again, having been looked like he was a mile ahead in this leg.
Big darts, these coming in. Didn't take him again. Noppy just misses 2 at 16s for what would have been a double breaker throw. O'Connor now looking for double 2 to remain 1 break behind. Oh dear. And he takes that out as well. 3-4. Massive.
More opportunities squandered there by Richie Burnett. Ted Everts isn't playing superb in this match. He certainly isn't playing a level that you would think would justify being 4-1 in front with a double breaker throw. However, Richie Burnett is just allowing Ted Everts repeatedly to take his time and go and do, well, just get his own way, really.
Can you imagine what it must be like watching Richie Cam at the moment? I think that Harry, we're not doing this route, are we? We're not doing hashtag what's a major at 13-17, are we?
I'm not sure I have the remaining energy left in my body for watch a major today. Oh, dear me.
There's only, I've said this before, there's 4 majors. This is one of them. They're all televised titles, but there are 4 majors.
And the Premier League is an exhibition.
A glorified expo is what it is.
I mean, and it is very well glorified.
Yes.
It's one of the most glorious exhibitions I've ever, seen. Tremendous. Adam Gavlas making again a man who seems to be given plenty of opportunities, averaging just 76. But he's squandered more opportunities there as well. And he could have managed somehow there to be averaging mid-70s and could have had the game at 3-all. Kevin Dukes surely won't let him off the hook again here.
Oh my goodness.
Gavlas in the madhouse.
After you, Claude. Desvando's just broken back against Gezi with a 110 finish.
Do you think he's still a little bit fragile, Gezi, when that form slips? Because he's so imperious in at times when he gets into that rhythm. But if he can, because at the minute what he is, he's an incredible front runner. He's getting out early, and he's holding a lead. Do you think if he starts to lose, if Desvan pulls this back for 5-all, do you think that? Do you think Gezi's a bit fragile if it pulls it back to 5-all, or do you think he just plows ahead?
I wouldn't be worried, mate. He's just gone off 180, 140 in this leg. I didn't want to interrupt you
Lovely. You're about 8 seconds ahead of me, I think.
I'm on Sky at the moment. The only good thing about being at my mum's house for this at the moment and being ill is the fact that I'm actually watching live on Sky. So he's left himself 44 against the darts after 9, whereas Jeffrey de Swan has just left himself tops after 12 and may not get a go at it. For tops, no. Inside 10s, no. Okay. So Desvan now looking for 4-3 in that one. And he gets it as well, 4-3. So this is a crucial leg already for Gezi. Oh, dearie. Harry, come on. Don't listen to Phil Bars. Don't listen to Phil. Look, there are 4 majors because, first of all, those are the events that were the main 4, if you get what I mean. They were the 4 that Sky always used to cover quite regularly, which were the Premier League, the World Match Play, the UK Open, and the World Grand Prix. Anything with the world in the title should always be included in the major debate. And I've said this for years, and I'll say it again, as Jeffrey de Swan is on a 9-darter. He's gone back to back. We didn't have one yesterday. Chris Dobie missing double 12 for it. Jeffrey de Swan, treble 20, gets it. Treble 19, flyer into the 7s.
Oh,
lucky.
I tell you what we haven't mentioned yet, just after that excitement, is that the defending champion is behind.
He is.
And at the minute, O'Connor looking like the more likely, you're certainly looking like the form player at the minute of the last few, the most comfortable at the hockey anyway.
And Jeffrey de Swan has leveled it up, and he's won the last 3 legs coming out of the break. We're back at 4 apiece. No, there's a difference to that one, Harry, about the World Series darts final because it's not ranked. Anything that isn't ranked can't be a major. I don't make the rules; I just enforce them.
I mean, it's correct. Can't be, can it?
Can't be.
It's not ranked.
It doesn't matter. Like the only reason why, in particular, the Premier League, I've always said this, and this is my biggest bugbear with a certain television network that starts with F's and ends in Chi, is that they've only recently tried to elevate the Premier League because they lost the rights to the UK Open. Simple as. But the UK Open is a major. It's one of the big 4. Inarguably it can be the most difficult leg play title of the lot to win because you don't know who you're playing.
Oh, I think. For me, it's like right up there. The UK Open, and it's because you'll always get that you'll always get people that will argue because what some people will suggest that you could essentially get to a final without playing anyone of note. You could and so people will always, and that's always people's argument with it, but in which case then, like, well, just take away any importance to the FA Cup and take away any importance to anything else then that has an open draw. The darts is lucky there are not loads and loads of sports whose structure really fits an open draw format. Golf, we get an open draw. Tennis, we get some opens. There are a few others where it's fully open. And I don't think you can be a sports fan and not enjoy it. I think it's just incredibly exciting. It's a total novelty. Certainly when the rest of everything is seeded, I just think it's ace. And if you can't enjoy it, you're boring and we probably can't be friends.
Well, because the reason why it's so big is because of the open draw. It's the only darts tournament which is open. That's why it's different. Like you look at you've got the world's the daddy of set play, the match play, the daddy of leg play. You then have the UK Open, well, obviously the openness of the draw, and then you have the World Grand Prix, which is the double start format. So those are why they're different. And people will talk about the slam in particular, but the reason why that's boring is because it becomes essentially a match play after the group stages. But I tell you what is not boring, and that is Jeffrey de Swan tops flyer over the top of the tops, but he's going to come back for it again because Gezi's on 2-3-6. Price is in trouble. You talked about it before, Dan. And I laughed at you a little bit, but he had darts for 5-3, and he's absolutely messed it up.
I do think, and I use the word fragile, and I sort of still stick with it in that I think he's an incredibly good front runner at the moment. Like, you know, he's amazing darts talent, but I think he's a really I think he's a really good front runner. I think when moments like this is when he starts to just have a bit of a wobble, and he'll often blame the crowd because sometimes the crowd are involved as well. But I don't think it's always the crowd. I just think he's not amazing at coping with people coming back at him and people not letting him have his way.
Well, what's interesting, so he's 6-4 behind now. He was 4-1 up. And remember, he had darts for 5-0. And he's now 6-4 behind at the second interval. Just going around the boards, as you can see there on your screen. And Gavlas has turned this one around. He's now 5-3 up on Kevin Dowitt. Ted Everts could be about to go 6-2 up on Richie Burnett, but he's just missed his opportunity. And at the break over in stage 2 in Reds, William O'Connor is 6-4 up on the defending UK Open champion, Danny Noppert, and it looks like a belter of a game in all fairness. 102.5, plays 103 on the averages.
Are they back in Reds today?
No, there will always be Reds to me.
It's a disgrace that, you know. It's the biggest disgrace in sport, probably this year. The fact that Reds isn't being used this weekend. It's an outrage.
It just doesn't work, in my opinion. Reds was, I mean, if anybody who's been to the UK Open will know this, but Reds was absolutely fantastic to watch a game of darts in.
I just think there's everything about how it's like, it feels like you're in an arena. Because it has an amazing atmosphere, whilst also has the feeling that you're sort of sat in someone's living room with Ned Bolton there as well. Like, it's such a wonderful little room, isn't it? It's amazing.
What I find amazing about it more than anything is the fact that, like, okay, the main stage is full of the people that do like go for the big events and all the rest of it and then watch the big players and everything. But if you go to Red, you do get a lot of what I call still proper darts fans. They'll still be quiet. There'll be that gentle hum as if you're at Lord's cricket. But
geeks. It's where they find the geeks like me. That's where they are.
Darting hipsters love a bit of stage 2 and stages 3 and 4. If you've been to a UK Open, you'll know that the multi-board room is for the hipsters.
It is also, if you know, like, and I've seen there are definitely people that do this. The autograph hunters that are there.
Oh yeah.
Like, generally, if you want to bump into someone you've seen on the telly, Reds is generally where it'll happen because it is a bit quieter, it's a bit darker, there's not as many cameras in there. So you do tend to find that if you will bump into folk at the bar and you will see people off the telly in there. Well, yeah, it's a lovely, gorgeous little room.
My favourite, I'm just trying to wear it out. Was it 2018 or was it 2017? Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I accidentally bumped into. There you go. I don't know if you'll be able to see that, but there's Vincent van der Voort and I in a wonderful shirt. There, that was it, Reds, and it was very, very dark. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Might not be able to, but that was MVG bumping into him in Reds as well. There was Maxi Hop. So there's the point.
It's ace.
It's brilliant. It's one of my favourite places to have ever watched the game of darts, and I'm very, very grateful to have had that opportunity. But we will talk about that a little bit later because games are starting to come towards the business end now as we get onto the second breaks of throw. We haven't even had breaks yet on the outside boards. But yet, do you know something though, Simon? Studio 36 is proper full, but nothing will beat Reds. Yeah, you're right on that one. But I know that there are people, and I include myself in this, that if you go on a Saturday, if you go to a weekend of these events at Butlins, I don't like going into the main arena unless it's an absolute must-see game. An absolute must-see.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
I don't like going into the main arena before Sunday. Much prefer standing out in the multi-board room or going to Studio 36. Or Reds.
More missed opportunities. Richie Burnett has done everything he can do to try and win this match. Adam Gavlas, 3 darts at 54 to go into the break. Oh, more missed opportunities again. These two games not on the screens are just a story of missed doubles and missed opportunities.
They won't be on Sky Sports Gold, will they? As we always used to say.
Oh, I tell you what, here's a quick shout out because we're on ITV4, right, for the main event. So this is, you may or may not have realised that before the dart started on ITV4, ITV4 have this little programme called The Big Match Revisited.
Oh, yeah, I did see this.
Oh, I tell you what, mate. So what they do is they take, like, the big match was its, match of the day from the 70s.
Yeah.
And they do sort of highlight shows of just random weeks of football from the 70s, but include all of the studio punditry and commentary, and it is absolutely superb. I've entertained my kids no end with it. Yeah, but it was on. It's on. It prompted me because it was on just before the dart started today. Yeah, the Big Match Revisited on ITV4. It's a proper. I mean, I can imagine a lot of people would find it very boring, but for sports geeks like me, it's a proper chuckle.
No, Harry. I'd have said he won a TV title, as they did. You have TV titles. All of them are TV titles, but there are 4 that are more important because A, they're ranked, and B, they're so prestigious. And in my opinion, they are. But as I say, I don't make the rules. I just enforce them.
How many match darts have we now had missed in this leg between Cavalos and Dukes? That's at least 9, 12, 13, 14 match darts, 15, 16, 17 match darts. Good grief. Not match darts, sorry, just leg darts. Somebody win this leg, for goodness sake.
Just get off to the pissing break.
Somebody try.
Well, that's 7 on the bounce, by the way, for the Black Cobra. This Jersey Price is in a world of trouble here.
Well, the first thing when you asked me about takeaways from yesterday, and it was, well, we haven't really seen any big names, we haven't seen any shocks, we haven't seen any, we are, let's be honest, currently on course for a very big shock in the very first game on the main stage today, aren't we?
He needs to stop the rot. Danny Noppert missing 2 as well, 3 darts, in fact, to try and get back to 6-all in that game. Price looking, treble 17, finds it, tops, misses the first, pings the second, stops the rot, first leg in 8 for the Iceman. And we're level. Finally, we're into the break on the outside boards. Chaos.
Well, not yet. We've still got Everts and Burnett trying to get themselves. I mean, you did say this one's not going to go fast, and by goodness, there we go. 6-4. Ted Everts goes into the break. 1 leg up on Richie Burnett. 1 break, up. As Danny Noppert levels things up as well. 6-6.
Yeah, tell you what's interesting, right? What the difference is between the pair, I think, in the Price Desvan game is the fact that the doubling 5 out of 13 for Gezi, 7 of 11 for the Black Cobra,
and that'll do it. 7 of 11 will win you most matches. That sort of form.
It will also do wonders if you're in America to try and find somewhere to go and get gas. One for the American audience, I think.
Cheers, yeah. Very global reference point there. I like that.
Very niche.
We are, though. So whilst we're back level in this match with O'Connor and Danny Noppert, we are on throw, and we're not playing a leg format here where we're playing 2-leg difference or anything like that. This is a straight run to 10, isn't it?
Here's a question for you, Dan. Should we have more events in Wales?
Should we have more events in Wales? Well, I'll give you my personal view. There are more big events closer to people in Wales than there are to me in the northeast of England.
That's a very good point, actually, yeah.
So, I would say if you want to get to Wolverhampton, if you want to get to Birmingham, if you want to get to Leicester, if you want to get to Milton Keynes, if you want to get to Minehead, if you want to get to, let's be honest, 60 to 70% of the Premier League locations, you will probably be closer in Leeds than I am in Teesside. So I would suggest that before we add another major or big event in
Thank you.
Wales, we add one to, I mean, I would be generous, and this is being generous, but I would even say Yorkshire. I mean, I would rather the Northeast, but Yorkshire would be, just as acceptable.
Price is starting to get back through the gears. 148 left. He's just going to try and set this up with his Van on 199. Can't find a treble. So he's left himself 90. So he should get a shot at the ball regardless. Desvan is back from 199. Can't find a big treble. And it looks like we're going 7-all. I stress the word looks like. Treble 20. Can't find it. Looking again. Finds it. Double 5 for a level game. Inside on the 5s. And Desvan is now back for 140. This would hurt. This would hurt the Iceman big time. Finds a treble 18. Finds another treble 18. Double 16. Or just inside. Very close. That would have hurt.
It's a proper match, this, isn't it?
Love it.
A proper match.
I mean, I thought this one wouldn't go. I thought this wouldn't go on the main stage. I would have had Dirk against Ass for it. I'm glad we're not doing it now because it's 7-all and he gives it the big un after the checkout as well. Gezi Price from 6-4 down, 7-4 down has won 3 on the bounce and is now back level. And it's a best of 5. First to win 3 legs will go into the hat. What's going on then in the game between O'Connor and Noppy? Do we, Dan?
We are back leveled up again, but we are on throw, and the last few legs are just an exchange of holds. We've seen some big scoring from O'Connor. We've seen some good 180 throwing, but just Danny Noppert's just been doing enough to hold. Now, what I would say is, whilst the last few legs have all been holds of throw, the pressure is all on Danny Noppert. O'Connor seems to be holding at the minute quite comfortably when he's on throw. Danny Noppert seems to be having to take out what he's got with O'Connor breathing down his neck. So certainly with O'Connor having the throw in the odd numbered legs, Danny Noppert really going to have to kick his game up here.
Desvan has left himself 1-3 forward. Price miles back after 12. And he's just set himself up on tops. So that should be fine. Although Gezi looking to come back. Hits a 180 anyway to leave himself 39. Bit of pressure. Jeffrey, the Swan, goes inside on the top on 20. Hits double 10. No big response that though from Desvan. No big fist pump. Nothing yet. And now we're back on throw. 8-7. Shock still very much in the offing. We're just looking through the match averages, mate. In particular in the legs 6 and 10. Gezi averaged 89.1. Jeffrey Desvan averaged 115.6 on the way to a whitewash second session.
We are seeing some, because let's be honest. I know that at that particular average, that window there from Price isn't box office. Gerwin Price isn't having a stinker. You know, Jeffrey Desvan is playing some very, very good darts. He's playing very, very well. He really is taking the game to Price here.
Absolutely. O'Connor 8-7 up as well on Danny Noppert. It is the two stage games are starting to brew up nicely here as Gezi Price needs to take out this 1-2-4 double 11 on the outside, and now Jeffrey Desvan has got himself 1-2-5 left. Svan hits the out to bull. Goes low on the treble 20. So that time, unfortunately for him, but he sets it up nicely. He's left himself double 10. Price pings the double 11, and we're going back to 8-all.
Very, very tense, that one.
Yes, by the way, Harry, yes. He should have been in the league. If you win a TV title, you should be in the Prem. That's just should be how it works.
You know my view on this. I just don't think it's. I think people bore. I don't find the debate particularly interesting. I just think as soon as everybody accepts that it's just an exhibition that Sky Sports book, and like if I wanted to hold an exhibition in like my local pub, I could just book darts players and pay them to be in it. And I could pick any. And if there was one I didn't particularly like or didn't think would sell many tickets or people wanted to see, I just wouldn't book him. As soon as people accept that that's exactly what the Premier League is, then most of these conversations will just go away and people will just go, yeah, it's all right. And it's quite fun to watch. It's not bad.
In its current format, though, I don't think it is, but I'm not going to go down that road. It's the UK Open. I don't want to discuss the Barry Hearns.
It's mega if you're there. Have you been to? Yeah, if you're in this, if you're lucky enough to be in the room, it's a big improvement. Not a big improvement for the TV audience, though.
Looks like Jeffrey Desvant set himself up tops after 12. Gezi, though, coming back, firing with a 180 to leave 61, but it's not going to be enough with the way that Jeffrey Desvant's been hitting his doubles. Flies it over the top. Pings its second dart. Gerwyn Price to stay in the UK Open is going to have to win and then win the next one. I tell you what's going on as well over on stage 2 as well, Dan. Chaos going on as Jeffrey Desvant starts the leg with a max and Gezi can only answer with 100. Gezi, though, responding. And finding another 180. This is quality stuff. Both of them have thrown 9 180s. 18 of the things have been happening so far. 1 per leg. Incredible start to the day.
Yeah, big stories coming early today, isn't it?
We're going to go to the game between Willie O'Connor and Danny Noppert as Noppy has just broken with a 1-3-4.
And what a time to break, because having been behind.
Oh! Sorry, Dan. I'm just going to jump in because Gezi needed to take out a 1-6-4 because Jeffrey Desvant has left himself 45. He hit a 180 to leave himself 45. This to knock out the world number 4, hits the 13 and pings the double 16. A huge shock to start at the UK Open. Wow. Jeffrey Desvant has knocked out Gerwyn Price in an absolute epic on that stage in Minehead. Unbelievable. Both hit over 9 180s. Jeffrey Desvant hitting 10. He actually was king of the hockey, averaged 105 in an absolute classic. Jeffrey Desvant knocks out Gerwyn Price, the first big casualty of the UK Open.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, just flicking to that other game between Noppy and O'Connor. Noppy, having been behind for such a long period of time all the way through this game, throwing for the match now, has managed to come to the hockey throwing for the match and found an 11. And immediately, it's now looking like Willie O'Connor could potentially be the fifth, but just both stuttering now. Both just starting to stutter. Can Noppert hold his nerve?
He needs a 156. He isn't going to take it out. So William O'Connor is going to come back for double 16 with Noppy on 56.
That is a breaker throw, don't forget, as well.
Yeah, outside on the first 2. He's blocked the bed, it looks like. And he pings it, though. Somehow, he's pinged it in the middle of the bed. There were 2 blockers. And now William O'Connor, 9-all against Danny Noppert.
It's not a break if you don't hold, is it? Danny Noppert there, we thought, had found the absolute perfect moment to break throw. allowed himself to throw for the match. That 11 that he threw, it was 2 5s and then swung into the 1. That was where that leg really, really swung. And now William O'Connor will get the opportunity to throw for the match. And as long as he stays straight, you've got to make him the favourite here, I think, haven't you? So we could potentially lose Gezi Price and the defending champion in the space of 5 minutes in the opening games today.
O'Connor only finds an 85, but Noppy finds a ton. We always say in these last legs, every treble is like a nugget of gold. Only a ton response from O'Connor. 3-1-6 left after 6. Noppy goes low on the first dart, finds the treble 20 for the second, and then finds a second treble 20 for a 140. O'Connor finds a 140 as well. Leave himself 176. A ton is needed minimum here from Noppy. Has he blocked the bed? It looks like he has. He has to go downstairs. And he can't find the treble 17. So 204 left. O'Connor back in the leg with that 140. He's in the treble 20. First dart, not the second. But he goes again. And he's left himself 36 after 12.
Oh, I tell you what.
Noppy would have been wanting a 180 to try and leave himself handy, but he can only find 60 to leave 144. Zero pressure on William O'Connor, who goes inside on the 18s. Outside the 9, last dart in hand. Bings it, top corner in the right-hand side. And what a classic. 2 absolute classics on the TV stages to get us going here. And William O'Connor joins Jeffrey Desvine as the second player into the UK Open last 16 draw. The world number 4, gone. The defending champion, gone.
Big news early today. After first thing I said, sort of grumbling, we didn't get any big stories yesterday, but look what we've already had on our plate. Now, we've focused on those 2 games a lot. So just on those side games, I know they're on the screen for everybody watching there, but both 7-6s, but both remaining very tight. Richie Burnett finding a treble here. You probably would suggest make him favourite to tie this match up. Adam Gavalis and Kevin Dukes the other way around. Adam Gavalis definitely looking the more likely in this one to kick on with that break. Let's have a little look. So William O'Connor, important to just have a quick see where he is in the order of merit, because William O'Connor at the minute now sits at number 37. And what that means is he is starting to just continue to hover around those places whereby seeding and potentially qualification for things becomes in a conversation, because that can be a really, really big advantage as the year goes on in being in those top spots. Best tournament for new viewers is, I think I'd agree with that. You'll see all sorts of people on the telly that you wouldn't normally see on the telly. Maybe not so much.
Adam Warner yesterday was brilliant. Absolutely epic to listen to him talk his way through stuff, I think.
Yeah, and really nice guy. I think the ITV did well to throw their arm around him and get him on the television, because he's a clever, educated, sort of personable, nice fella, isn't he? And I think the more that we put people like that on TV representing darts, the better. Really, I think he came across really well, gave a good account of himself and his sport as well. It was really good.
I was going to say that's another last leg decider. That's 4 last leg deciders in a row on stage 2. Which I find bonkers, really. Can you do me a favour? Can you bloody score, please?
Can I what?
Can you do me a favour? Can you just go and tell your team to score, please?
Is it still 1-0? I've turned it off.
Actually, Is it going to be 2? No, not yet. I thought it was. Haaland was offside.
In fact, I might flick it back on while we're because we're between games at the minute, aren't we? On the old on the is it BT Sport? Yeah, there we go.
How do you guys rate the World Cup? If it became pairs more often, and there was more pairs games as there should be, then I reckon it would be great. Then I'd really like it. I just don't think it works in its current guise with the singles element of stuff. But there should be more pairs games. Absolutely.
You see, I love the fact that we have a like a darts World Cup. The idea of a World Cup tournament, I'm completely in love with. Richie Burnett going ahead for the first time in this game. Just quick to one side, but Richie Burnett has been behind in this match from the very beginning. Ted Everett's always been out in front, but Richie Burnett just taking that chance there. And now Ted Everett's can only open with a 60. Richie Burnett with an opportunity to pinch the darts and potentially keep his run in the PDC UK Open alive. But, Erling Haaland, that's interesting as well. I'm glad I removed the captaincy from him this week on my fantasy league team. Didn't want to root against him, or root for him, scoring this week. Ted Everett continuing to have a stinker, actually.
He's a fraud. Not Ted Everett's, Haaland.
But no, going back to the World Cup. So I love the idea of a World Cup. I think you hit the nail on the head, Pairs. What I want to see, I want there to be a World Cup. I think it's a brilliant thing to have, a sort of nationality-based competition. I want to see it far more focused on the team rather than the any individual. Now, I would personally tear up the format completely and go with teams of 4. I appreciate that you're going to erode the quality for some nations, but I would go have it as a proper team event and have a proper World Cup. I love the idea of it. I just want to be more of a team event for me personally.
Agreed. That wouldn't be too bad. Yes, Dan, they will. I'm trying to note down who will be what ball in the draw.
Is it simply the order in which they got into the next round? It just time order of who's in? Yeah. So in theory, Jeffrey Deswan will be number 1, William O'Connor will be number 2, etc., etc.
Yeah. Well, number 1 will be Jeffrey Deswan, and number 2 will be William O'Connor. Yes, next game, as you say, is just about getting underway. Bob, indeed. Gary Anderson and Kim Huybrechts underway in a huge game.
Yeah, I think that could be unbelievable. That's a game we could see a 9-darter in. That
don't
Burnett with a break of throw goes within 1 and is now throwing for the match.
6-4 down at one stage.
Yeah, I was probably for the first 5 legs of the game, I was really critical of Richie Burnett and just the opportunities he wasn't taking. Ted Everett wasn't playing well, but had managed to just keep being, relatively comfortably at least a break up, because Richie Burnett just wasn't taking his opportunities. But as soon as he started, throwing for the match opening with a 45 isn't really taking your opportunities, but. And Gavalas Duets has looked like a noble leg from 5-all, really, hasn't it? 6-5, 6-4, wherever we went into the break. It's always looked like it's going to go the full distance, this. Very, very little in it. Both making too many mistakes.
We've thought that for a while about this game, though, to be fair, haven't we?
Yeah, that's not a great start from Kim Huybrechts, opening just 41. Gary Anderson following him with a 140 already looks like Gary Anderson favourite for an early break. We've seen early breaks in every match so far.
I'm not being funny. Quickly, talking about the UK Open, I just remembered the ridiculous stat, which I don't think. Hang on, I think came to an end last year. Hang on a minute. about the UK Open? Because Rob Cross, whoever beats Rob Cross, apart from maybe last year, I think. Where was he? Where's Roberto?
Well, yeah, there is. Isn't everyone that beats Rob Cross wins? Isn't that the rule?
Apart from Gabe Clemens, yeah, who won last year, which is bonkers. That's a huge 180 from Gavlas there, especially with the response from Dowitz, who had 102 left. Big moments early doors.
Oh, that 137's big from Ted Everett.
Good Lord.
He really needed that as well. That was desperate.
Back on throw, though, this game.
It is, but regardless of what happens, Richie Burnett is going to get another chance to throw for the match, isn't he?
He is. Yep.
As is Adam Gavalas. As that match is also 9-8. And neither, but both games very, very similar in that neither of the player really needing this leg to stay in it can find a treble in their first visit.
Luke Humphreys is walking onto the main stage. Tell you what, there's a few that look like they've already had a bit of a boozy last night in Minehead. Although it's interesting because the Friday night for the UK Open, there's barely anything open, which I'm ashamed. Jumping jacks, I remember going in there last year or the last time out for when jumping jacks were still about, and just not being able to move because obviously
so busy.
Yeah, because centre stage. But I'll tell you something, right? The people that are staying on the Sunday, and I appreciate not many people probably will be, but the people who are staying on the Sunday, you've got Complete Madness, who I've seen before, brilliant.
Was they on when you and I were there last?
Well, we had the Bavarian Stompers, didn't we? And they were crap.
Oh, yes. So Complete Madness were on the night after you and I were in there.
They're
we in the Saturday.
Yeah. They're there on the Sunday this time again.
On the Sunday, yeah. I saw them, but I'm not a big Madness fan, you know. And
they're great.
I'm a big music fan, but do you know, Newcastle in the last 5 minutes should have scored 4 goals. They have had a 5 minutes to where they should have absolutely ran. They've ran riot and just haven't been able. Like story of the last month, we can't put the ball in the back of the net. Richard Burnett 113 for the match,
and now Bernardo Silva's just scored.
Mint. He's only been on the pitch for a minute and a half, hasn't he?
Pardon?
He's only been on the pitch for about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
Ted Everts needs this 107. Very important. Like too many troublous visits there from Ted Everts. Just not scoring high enough. Burnett not playing amazing, but he's in control here. He's going to get a match start.
Gavlas has got to he should get a dart at least at the ball from 91 after Kevin Dowitz missed chances to get it clear.
Right, football's off, darts is back on. There we go. Match 1.
And he takes it out. Treble 17 tops, I suspect. And Adam Gavlas will be ball number 3 in the UK Open 6th round draw. The former World Youth finalist is going to be in the draw. And
the noble leg now, after Richie Burnett missing match darts, more match darts, sorry for Richie. That's 2 legs in a row he's missed match darts. Now throwing for the leg. Will he get any more match darts, or is that it for Richie Burnett?
That's where we're going to keep our focus for the next few minutes. Daniel can call this one in.
92 isn't the start he would have wanted, but Ted Everts has been plagued in these last few legs with troublous visits. We've seen an awful lot of 58. Oh, my word, Ted Everts. Just as I was referencing his relentless troublous visits, the 177 from Ted Everts, and the momentum has very, very much swung. And after Richie Burnett has missed multiple match starts, that 180 though makes this a very exciting leg. Ted Everts, what have you got to answer that 180? It's got to be a ton, at least a ton, to stay in it. Really needs at least 2 trebles here. 96, so still advantage Burnett. But with Ted Everts hot on his heels, what type of finish can Richie Burnett leave himself? Oh, not amazing. Question is, how much pressure will be on that 146? Well, not a huge amount of pressure. Ted Everts with the outside chance of a 170 there, but you've got to expect 6 from 146, the way Ted Everts has been playing for Richie Burnett. 92 is all right, tease it up. So, Ted Everts, the pressure is on you now. 170 to remain in the 2023 PDC UK Open.
What's some way to win it, wouldn't it?
Certainly would, and he's going to have to. He hasn't got much choice, to be honest, at this point. Only a 60, so doesn't even really put too much pressure on this 54. Richie Burnett will get more match starts. He's missed at least 3 or 4 already. Oh, more match starts gone for Richie Burnett.
110.9 last night.
He's doing it the hard way, isn't he? Every single match in this competition, he is doing the hard way. But we have seen multiple ton plus checkouts from Ted Everts in this game. It's the only reason he is still in this game, averaging 88. The ton plus checkouts have got him here. Richie Burnett ideally is not going to fancy coming inside double 5. This is not a double that many would want to be coming for, even with 3 in hand. He does it in the 1. First start in, Richie Burnett. And he has done it the hard way once again. Multiple match starts missed, averaging only 88. But Richie Burnett has once again found a way to win.
That's not a big. There's nothing to go with, by the way. I should say that cheer was nothing to do for Super Ted. It's just the fact that Richie Burnett, man. I mean, what a bloke! Yes,
Good.
Last 16 of the UK Open, man. Last 16 of the UK Open, huge.
And this is the end of the tournament. You know, I know we've talked a little bit about tour cards and qualification and bits and bobs earlier on. And we talked about these, you know, what difference these games make. But we're now going to start moving into the side of the tournament where they do make a big difference, because there is money to be made. And there are huge lumps to be made in terms of those really tight areas of the order of merit, where there are only 250, 500, 1,000 pounds between people. This is where those extra matches, this extra round getting through in a big tournament like this can make a big difference.
If you just want to update your, I don't know if you need to update your Dart Connect. I don't know if it will automatically start. I'm not too sure, as a God's honest truth, mate. You might need to update.
See if I hit the refresh button. See if no, in which case, let's just have a little look at.
We'll just have to have a quick look on that. So there you go. This is what this is. You can see. Do you know what this is? This is a great thing. This is what we can do. I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll take this out for a moment. You can set yourself up there on that one. So I'll tell you what I'll do is, while you're saying, no, I'm not going to do that, because I was going to try and present my screen, but I'm not going to do just that. Michael Smith and Luke Humphreys are level at 1 apiece, although 2 breaks of throw have happened in the first 2 legs. And
we're warming up in those 2 games. So once those games are live, I can flick them straight. They're ready now with 1 click to flick back up. So once those games go live, we'll ping them straight back up on the screen.
tell you what, can I share that and see if hopefully it means I've not taken your thing away? No, I haven't, I don't think, which is great. So what we've got here for you is the game between Kim Huybrechts and Gary Anderson. And we haven't even mentioned this yet because we've been so preoccupied with the stuff that's been going on the outside boards. But Gando is now 4-2 up on Kim Huybrechts. He got the break of throw in the 3rd leg, in the 1st leg of the match. He won that one and he's not looked back. So he's 4-2 up, as you can see here on the screen. And so that at the moment is the score, 4-2. And we are back underway, though. Tell you what we'll do. We're going to come back here because Luke Woodhouse and Andrew Gilding is back underway. That's on board 4. We're just going to wait for board 3 to get going in a moment, which will be Adrian Lewis against Martin Schindler.
Andrew Gilding remains as the only professional darts player I've ever seen in person playing darts in a pair of boots that would be completely acceptable on any building site in the UK. Never seen anything like it in my life. Amazing. It had me fascinated. Doc Martens, I believe. Other boots are, of course, available. They probably won't last as long. 18 holers as well. You know, like proper, like upper calf. Like he's 1 step off knee-high boots, that lad. Proper boots.
Well, if you're not watching Michael Smith against Luke Humphries at the moment, David, I can tell you that Smith has finally got the break of throw and consolidated it. So it is 3-1 as Gando has just hit a 106 to go. A double break of throw ahead against Kim Huybrechts on stage 2.
We are seeing some. Do you think we're? So I'll tell you what I was thinking yesterday when I was watching Gary Anderson was that we're seeing a Gary Anderson that's been practicing. It very much looks like a Gary Anderson that's been playing lots of darts, I think, at the minute, which is incredibly exciting to see.
I'm just messaging you why, as Andrew Gilding takes out a 108 to hold in the 1st leg. But I'm just messaging you why Bully Boy, why not Bully Boy? I'm thinking of Bully Boy because he's just managed to get himself in a position potentially to break, but Humphries has just got back. But I'm just messaging you why Gando might be a bit fired up. I'm not allowed to say it on air, but I can tell you off the air.
Good. Andrew Gilding with the opening leg. He is a man, though, the Goldfinger, that does just seem to find miraculous bits of darts, doesn't he, every now and again? It just seems to be... I mean, it's not hugely consistent, but by goodness, that man does find some terrific form at times.
It's in the private chat area, Dan.
I'm sick of losing my mouse, you know.
Don't share, actually. I don't know if you could... I don't know. Actually, do you know what? I've just realised you might accidentally share it and I can't
No,
say.
don't worry. We're all good. It's not. It's all right.
Hopefully you've seen it. Yeah, that's why. That's why he's fired up at the minute. But anyway, Luke Woodhouse needing a big fish, potentially, as Adrian Lewis, Martin Schindler just got underway. Lewis looking to try and break, and he hits a 180 to lead himself first to a finish. Michael Smith currently 3-2 up on Luke Humphries with a break of throw as they hit the 1st break. Remember, they, of course, had the 5 and the 10 leg break when they go and play on the main stage. Kim Huybrechts looking to try and hold throw. 6-2 down now against Gary Anderson. Gando averaging a cool 96. Let's just hit another 180. His 5th of the match, where Huybrechts has not even found the maxes yet. Gando, oh, please. Please, Gando, can we have a Gary Anderson win the 2023 UK Open, his first UK Open in front of fans if he wins it? Please.
Oh yes, Gary Anderson won the year of the behind closed doors. Beast from the East, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. Mind you, that year that you and I, when I was in Minehead and saw you, I still maintain that is about the coldest I've ever been on British soil, and it wasn't even for some reason it wasn't snowing. Nothing seemed to be covered in ice, but it's the coldest I've ever been in Great Britain. I have no idea how it was so cold. It was mad.
I just remembered, actually. Did you not remember the sandstorm that hit? Every car in the car park was just full of snow. Was just full.
Well, it was because there was a huge I can't remember the name of it, but there was a huge storm that hit Britain that weekend, and because we were on the coast, obviously the sand got blasted everywhere. But I'll never forget waking up on a Sunday and thinking, I fancied another night staying away somewhere, because I remember WhatsApp me all the pictures of the damage the storm had done to the house, and there was like roof tiles had all come off, and the back fence was down. It was complete chaos. But it was a huge storm. I can't remember which one it was that weekend, but it was massive.
Just a quick one, and I don't mind sharing this one, actually. Bookings for the UK Open 2024 open at midday on Monday. So if you haven't got your tickets booked and you want to come to Minehead, bookings go on sale on the 2024 UK Open from midday on Monday.
How exciting!
I don't think I'm honestly like a child.
Yeah, it's the best. It is the best. It's fun as well. I just have to declare to Baz and everyone else that I'm unavailable for streaming next year. Sorry, folks, won't be on the stream.
I've said that already. I'm not streaming next year. I'm going to be there in Minehead. Can't wait. Gando looking for tops for an 8-2 lead into the break, and he pings it as well. Gando.
This is a bit of a leg from Martin Schindler, requiring 36 after 9, looking for a 10-dart leg here from Schindler. Adrian Lewis potentially behind, averaging over 107. Oh, there, 10-dart leg, 36 goes in 1 dart. Martin Schindler averaging 116. This is a proper game of darts on these sideboards here. Both of these two guys. Adrian Lewis opens with a max as well. He himself averaging 105.
Piss poor.
Oh, there we go, Martin Schindler. Thank you very much. Bring us straight back down to earth and just do some damage to that 116 average while you are on. Gary Anderson, it is looking a very, very long way back here for Kim Huybrechts, isn't it?
It really is, but this is a huge moment, I think, for Gando, because if he can get over the line here, and again, he was on the main stage last night, he's been on stage 2 today. If he gets over the line again and avoids one of the top 3 and just keeps getting confidence, I'm good at the top 3 draw.
This is the thing, and this is what I like. So there are, let's be honest, right? There are some players left in this tournament that we generally wouldn't pick for a quarter final of a major, and I know there's some we wouldn't pick as winners. There's some we wouldn't pick for a quarter, isn't there? But yeah, there's potentially we're going to see the draw later on, and that's the bit where I love that draw when you said, "Well, can you think, well, we're definitely either going to get that person or that person. It's going to make it to this stage in a major." Like it's just it's so wacky and it's very, very fun. I love it.
It's why it's the best tournament of the lot, in my opinion. As Smith goes 4-2 up on young Luke Humphreys. This is a bit. I think for Luke here, this is a big matchup, because if he were to beat the world number 1 over this sort of length, it would be a massive FU to the PDC for not including the world number 5 in the Premier League, wouldn't it?
Well, this is what I think he should really. That's how he should be approaching this game. 100%. This should be, Luke Humphreys' redemption of showing everybody why he should be in the Premier League. And in relatively short form leg format, he can compete with anybody in the world. What he doesn't want to do is get smashed about by Michael Smith. And and look like the PDC made the right decision?
Well, Mike Smith has just hit a 180 to leave 161, with Humphreys on 178 after 9. Charlie Corstefine refereeing on the main stage. Great to see. 17s. Way off. Yeah, it's great to see Charlie Corstefine there as well. He's been brilliant. He was brilliant on the stage, and he's starting to now become one of the main refs in the PDC. It's really good to see as Humphreys takes out a 78, crucial 78 shot to make it 4-3 and just stay that one break of throw behind. Yes, Simon, you know that about Andrew Gilding. He ain't. I've said this before, and I think Barzy said this before. If Andrew Gilding ever won the world championship, Barry Hearn had changed the rules. There's no way he's ever getting in the Prem.
Sponsored by Doc Martens.
Yes, I wouldn't. That'd be a good sponsorship, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd see. I don't understand. Yeah, if he's wearing them on those stages all the time, if he's buying them, he's mad. He wants to be getting in touch with somebody there, get himself a set scent.
The football's to qualify to F1. I am listening. I just need to have the F1 on in the background as well as keeping everybody up to date.
Is that on? Is it now? Is it? I know it's early because it's Bahrain, isn't it? So it's a slightly strange time. Is it qualifying on now?
It's on at 3:00.
Oh, very good, very good. I've reinstated my. I labour with F1. I want to enjoy it. I find sometimes I'll record it and Sky Q will say, "Well, there's 18 hours." I can't consume that. Like I haven't got 18 hours. I've got 18 minutes. Like, can you give me highlights? So I try and follow it, but I spend a lot of the following on fast forward.
You should be the UK. You should use the Sky Sports YouTube channel. Actually, Sky Sports F1 YouTube normally do about 15-minute highlights of the race. It's all that matters.
Well, the new channel, the Sky Sports F1 channel on Sky Q is UHD. So I've got the full season UHD this year. So I'm hoping that'll just inspire me to.
Someone's doing well.
Well, you know.
I'd say we need to try and make sure that the gold standard of apartments might still be open for when we're going.
Well, I tell you what, because the place, I can't even describe it because it's not fair because I'll get done for some sort of all I was going to say is I was going to discuss a school trip I once took to a prisoner of war camp that had been converted into a museum. And there was a great deal of similarities between the sort of accommodation I stopped in and
Minehead,
where I would happily house. Yeah,
if there was
my enemies.
Oh wow, and that's unfortunate for Bully. But I tell you what, if there was a way that I could stay in the Premier Inn next door and go off and on the site, that'd be great.
Oh, well, see, I stopped just to get myself within spitting distance. I tend to stay. So, in a former life, I used to spend a lot of time on nuclear power stations, working, not as some sort of vagrant. But I used to. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them around Bridgewater, which is spitting distance from Minehead. So I stayed in a hotel I quite like in Bridgewater, so I was close by. And that is it's the only thing I think for me. Like, yes, it's a nice experience and it's good to be on there, but like I would quite happily buy a weekend ticket. I'd pay full price for it and come and go. All
I'll say is that there's nothing within spitting distance of Minehead.
There is that.
As anyone who's driven down the A39 will tell you. We are currently 5-4 between Michael Smith and Luke Humphreys. Again, Smith is just having that one breaker throw ahead, but Luke Humphreys is just starting to maybe make some movement here. He's just hit a 139 to leave 182. 137, sorry, excuse me. And Michael Smith has only left himself 190. So Luke Humphreys is going to get 6 starts here to try and level us up. Over on the second board, Gary Anderson is now one leg away from potentially strolling his way into the 6th round of the 2023 Kazoo UK Open. On the outside boards, you can see Martin Schindler 4-2 up on Adrian Lewis with a break of throw. But Andrew Gilding flying, it looks like, Dan.
Yeah, he's just lagging behind in this leg, as you can see there. Luke Woodhouse lifted his game a little bit. A lot of it is just Luke Woodhouse not playing or scoring highly enough to pressure Andrew Gilding. Gilding just he's not doing anything particularly remarkable, averaging 90 as you can see on there, but just taking his chances and a relatively workmanlike performance. Woodhouse taking 3 there to get rid of the 40. Pulls a leg back, but that was only a hold of throw. So the break still very much in Andrew Gilding's favour, and Luke Woodhouse really going to have to lift his game. Adrian Lewis, however, starting to mess around all over, and he is now 5-2 down to Martin Schindler. Again, Adrian Lewis missing multiple opportunities there. Probably missed 5 darts to break.
Gary Anderson wants a 1-4-5 against Kim Hybrex. He doesn't need to take it out if he doesn't want to, but he's going to go for it anyway, and he goes inside on tops. 205. Kim Hybrex is coming back. How handily can he set this up? He'll leave himself 65. So Gando, double 10, misses on the outside, misses it inside, looking for double 5, and goes inside there as well. So 4 match darts come and gone for Gary Anderson. Kim Hybrex misses on the outside as well. I mean, he misses 2 darts to keep himself alive. In fact, that's only his 5th attempt at a checkout all game. Gando's 9 of 30 on the outer ring, and he's still averaged 94 in a very, very, very comfortable win. Gary Anderson flies through again. He's ball number 5 in the UK Open draw for round 6. A 10-2 victory over Kim Hybrex. Goodness me, that is very, very good.
See, I think Gary Anderson, the way Gary Anderson's playing today, he looks like someone who's only going to get put out of this tournament by meeting someone in the top 4, and there's only 3 of them left. Because at the minute, the way Gary Anderson's playing at the minute, you look at the list of names left in this tournament outside the top 4. You sort of think, well, yeah, the way Gary's played this tournament and the way they've played this tournament, I'd probably fancy Gary, to be fair. He looks like a man right up for it, and I am all for that. Adrian Lewis averaging 99, but still finding himself a breakdown here and can't find a treble on his first visit. So Adrian Lewis with lots of work to do here. Again, Luke Woodhouse just off to an absolute flyer in this leg. Started really well. Andrew Gilding just hanging around. Luke Woodhouse really should have got that break there.
Barry. Only fools and horses. What a show! But that's yeah. This is my mate, Gary.
Anderson is defending money. He's not defending money, is he?
Who's that?
And Gando's not defending money here, is he?
Nope. This is a free shot for him now. That's
what I was thinking. 2021.
Knocked out. He's got knocked out 4th round the last 2 years. So his defense. This is a free shot for him now.
Yeah, this is Gary Anderson clawing his way back up the rankings, isn't it?
Gary.
Let's have a look.
So what I've got currently, then here's the ball numbers that that we're going to look for. Jeffrey Desvarnes ball number 1, William O'Connor ball number 2, Adam Gavlas number 3, Richard Burnett number 4, and Gary Anderson number 5. So those are the ball numbers that we currently have. As Luke Woodhouse takes out the Paul Hinks.
Much better leg from Woodhouse, isn't it?
It is. Takes out the Paul Hinks.
What we wanted to see.
127th in game and the 8th leg. As Michael Smith and Luke Humphries are back underway on the main stage. As they both start off with a 140 at the moment. He does, Simon. Yes, does live in the wonderful city, wonderful town of Birmingham.
Mind you, on that, I'll tell you who is defending money, big money, is Luke Humphries.
Yep, 2 years ago, made the final.
Luke Humphries, final with James Wade, wasn't it? Like, so this Luke Humphries, whilst being, number 5 in the world, if he doesn't go any further than this, he stands to not specifically drop in the rankings, depending on what happens beneath him, but he is going to lose a chunk off his ranking money.
He will drop at the moment to world number 6 because, of course, most of his money that he won, okay, 40,000 is a lot of money, but he won a shed ton of money winning Euro Tour after Euro Tour.
Yes.
And then obviously making a semi-final of the Slam probably also helped them.
No, it won't make a big impact, but 40,000 dropping off is a big lump, isn't it?
It's a big chunk of change. You could do a lot with 40 grand.
It's also 40 grand when he is tussling that spot out with a certain Mr. Rob Cross, who, whilst I think a lot of people know where their hearts want to go during Rob Cross's next match, the bookmakers and those who have a financial interest in it will probably suggest to you that Rob Cross is the most likely to come through that game.
I'll be very surprised if it wasn't, considering he's now Czech Notes world number 5. But I think the big thing for Rob is that he's got to try and find a way throughout the next year or so. He's got to try and find a way to cover that European Championship that he's going to lose at the back end of the year. I mean, what's quite interesting is the fact that both of his ranking money is similar. Looking at the order of merit by seasons, he's won 49.3% of his money in 21 and 48.7% of his money in 2022. But it just feels like that 120 grand that he's losing is huge. And like you say, absolutely, Mr. David points out rightly, these two could be fighting out for a World Cup spot. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why that little tussle between the two of them is well, depending on how important the World Cup is to you, that's important because, yeah, they are the most likely at the minute who are going to pick that second spot up for England.
Luke Humphries has come out of the break firing on all cylinders. He's just got that break back, and he's now back in control of this game. It is now a best of 9, first to 4 will get himself it is a best of 9 now. Best of 7, sorry, excuse me. It's not 11 legs just yet. Best of 7, first to 4 will win themselves the number 6 spot at the UK Open draw, as both just hits a 180. This is starting to become a really good game of darts, actually, on the main stage, as you would expect between the Czech Notes world number 1 and world number 3.
Yes, we are being delivered what we, I suppose, are entitled to from a draw like this early in the tournament. As we are seeing that, we are seeing a certain Dirk van Dijvenbode, the Aubergenius, is arriving. And he is arriving, I was going to say in style, but I can't use the word style. I mean, it's pandemonium, to be honest. All I can suggest is I do hope that Butlins have arranged for a first aider, because it certainly looks like somebody in that arena is going to need reviving quite soon. But then here Nathan Aspinall comes, and I suppose if you want to have two entrance themes running tight together that are really going to get the crowd up for it, then I would say that whatever that nonsense is that Dijvenbode comes out to, followed by Mr. Brightside.
What nonsense. Wash your mouth out.
It's not the 4 tops, is it?
Hello. 5, 6, perfect from Michael Smith. Luke Humphreys. He's gone for 4 perfect. Doesn't get the 5th. But it's 140. And he wanted it to be like that leg in the World Darts Championship. Michael Smith goes low on the treble 20. And he was looking for the 7th perfect darts. But it just couldn't hit. But now it's all about trying to clean up this leg. 76 left as we go into the break in the game between Gilding and Woodhouse. Oi. Don't miss the big number. So then, Luke Humphreys looking for 138.
That was a very short break between Lewis and Schindler.
Sorry, double 9. Sorry. Apologies for interrupting. But Luke Humphreys just missed a double 9 for a 138, which would have given him the lead, and it would have been 4 straight legs on the bounce. Bully Boy needs a double 10, can't find it. Luke Humphreys coming back for double 9 and for a 2-leg lead against the world number 1, and he pings it as well. So we've had the world number 4, Gon McGon, already here today, the defending champion, Gon McGon, the world number 1 and world champion, now on the brink. Apologies for interrupting you, mate.
Don't worry. All I was saying is I was just suggesting that the break in the Adrian Lewis-Martin Schindler game was incredibly short, and they seemed to rattle on very quickly. So somebody seems keen to press on, and you would suggest from the way this game's going, it will be Martin Schindler as he takes out 106 in 3 darts for an 8-3 lead. And Adrian Lewis, whilst averaging 96 and 97 now, and seemingly playing relatively well. Adrian Lewis not having a stinker, but Martin Schindler just, I hasten to use the phrase, but the right things at the right time. He's taking the ton plus checkouts out when he needs to, and he's winning the legs that, you know, where every time Adrian Lewis is giving him a bit of an opportunity, he just seems to be coming good when it's important, Martin Schindler. Adrian Lewis really going to have to do something now to get motoring back into this game. Because at the minute, it looks like there's no way back.
Big darts coming in here because Michael Smith might be about to get this game back on throw. Humphreys can't take out the 164. Smith hits a treble 16, needs the double 8, finds it just about, kisses it in off the barrel. We're back on throw in a cracking game on stage 1. This is a really, really good game of darts, this. Really enjoying it.
Yet another opening leg break in the game on board number 2 as the Ober Genius Dirk van Duivenbode takes the opening leg, breaking the throat of Nathan Aspinall, and then getting off to a great start on his own throat as well. So Nathan Aspinall, we know he likes to be involved in a scrappy battle, and it is already looking like that's exactly what he's got on his hands here. Do you know what's really cool is we've had some wicked games so far. There's some awesome ones on now, but there's loads of mega games still to come, isn't there?
Steve against Big Steve against
Clayton against De Souza could be some of the biggest counting catastrophes. Like that could be a complete car crash of counting, couldn't it?
Well, I remember it being there for the Premier League final last year. So not last year, 2 years ago, back in MK. Them two, absolutely mint at the time. Seeing as well, actually, another note on the cricket, the women's IPL's just started, which is great. So, and the crowd looked absolutely well into it. So
really
good to see. Great to see. Bully has just taken out double 10 with Luke on 25. And we're back to a best of 3 showdown. And Luke has just started off with a 180.
I found myself watching the PSL this week when I was ill.
Oh, yeah.
And I'd never watched it before. Like, I've watched loads of cricket before. I'd never watched the PSL before. Yeah, it was quite a good spectacle, a decent level of... It was entertaining. Good. Enjoyed it.
Looking forward to the Bangladesh-England third one-day to listen at work on Monday.
Oh, Van Duijvenbode. So Aspinall had some darts there to break. Couldn't take the doubles out, and Van Duijvenbode does consolidate that early break of throw. Goes 2-0 up as Martin Schindler holds to go within 1, and now it is very much looking like, whilst Adrian Lewis, as I said a few times, not playing particularly badly, just can't get near. And is it too little too late as he opens with a 140?
Humphreys, 56 left, 16 hit. Tops pinged. So Michael Smith, if he's going to stay in the UK Open, the last year's runner-up will have to find a way. You'll have to hold throw and then break the throw of the world number 5 coming into this event now, the world number 6. But tell you what, this would be a massive FU to the, as we said before, massive FU to the PDC if Luke were to get on and hold on to this victory. Bully with the max. Bully, back-to-back maxes to leave 41 after 9. Luke seems like he's resigned to the fact that this leg's gone. But he hits a 180 to leave 140 if he is given the chance. He's not. An 11 darter from Bully will send us all the way in an absolute classic.
You know, if Luke Humphreys goes out now, oh no, don't worry, it's nonsense. False alarm. Martin Schindler throwing for the match. Darts in hand to win it.
Both can't find trebles with their first 3 visits to the board. Humphreys finds 1 in his second for a 96. How can Bully respond? He can respond with a treble 20, goes low on the second, goes high on the third. 100 scored. 3-4-6 plays 3-4-3. 140 from Luke Humphreys. We talk about moments in games. We talk about when nuggets of gold are hit and the pressure seems to be telling for the world number 1 as he can only find 46, excuse me. And Luke Humphreys finds a 134 to leave 72. Michael Smith needed the lot. He's not even going to get close to a finish. And the world number 1 might be about to be exiting the UK Open. 16 for tops. Humphreys, well low, but he's going to get 3 more minimum. How much pressure is he going to be under? Maximum pressure from Bully Boy as he hits a 180 to leave 57. Luke Humphreys, double 10 to get into the last 16 of the UK Open, and he's done it. The world number 4 gone.
Well,
gone. And the world number 1 and world champion gone.
Well.
Wowzers. What a Saturday at the UK Open this is. This is absolutely incredible already. And Luke Humphreys, the man who was runner-up here 2 years ago, beats last year's runner-up Michael Smith. And he just gives a bit of a thinker pose there as well to the crowd, and just a bit of that as well. That is a massive, that's a massive win for Luke Humphreys.
certainly is. Huge victory, that. I mean, the biggest scalp you can take in world darts. Outplayed the world number one in leg play.
Right, what's going on then in the game between Dirk van Dijvenbode and Nathan Aspinall? Dirk at the moment.
He's maintained that. He broke in the first leg, and then he's just been able to maintain it. Aspinall throw now and looking favourite. So that first leg break that Dirk took is the real difference between them. Not a huge amount of difference really in terms of the way they're playing after that first leg's out of the way. Not a bad match. Could we go the afternoon and lose all of the favourites off the main stage?
Michael van Gerwen next against the big serial killer, Martijn Kleermaker. Man, you met, didn't you? Memory serves me correctly.
Yes. Yeah, I did, yeah. Nice guy.
Not a serial killer by any stretch of the imagination.
I'm still here, you know. I survived Martijn Kleermaker. He should get t-shirts with that on. He should get t-shirts with that on.
As we said before, if he tells me it's Wednesday, it's Wednesday.
Big scary dude.
He's a lovely guy, but you know he's tall, and I'm not exactly sure.
No, I was incredibly surprised when I met you. I didn't realise you were as tall as you were until I met you.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
I thought you might. When I first met you, I thought you might have been like two people in a long coat, and it turns out it was all you.
Very good. Ooh.
Andrew Gilding just. I don't know. Well, what's happened is this game it feels like a really close. When you watch the legs, it feels like a really close game. And Luke Woodhouse is out averaging and outscoring Andrew Gilding, but Gilding just seems to be doing enough just to keep him at bay. But now Luke Woodhouse very much running out of time. As Andrew Gilding is the first to a finish in this leg, and he's only 2 legs off winning this match. So, well, that big 1-7-1 from Luke Woodhouse gives him a bit of a chance here, though. But you do feel in this one that Woodhouse is just running out of time a little bit. That is a big breaker throw from Nathan Aspinall as he levels this game up 3-3 and gets it back on throw. And that is a sign, you know, these breaks come at different times, whether you're on the main board and just on that second board. I think if the break had come after 5 legs, I don't think Nathan Aspinall wins that match. Well, that leg, sorry. But he just managed to play himself into a bit of a position there. And has levelled it up 3-3 as Andrew Gilding finds a way to win another leg that he had no right to. That was a break of throw. So Andrew Gilding now with the darts in hand for the match. And will we see? Well, it's looking very much like we will see Goldfinger in the draw for the last 16.
Yeah, just a quick one as well. I just realised this, that now with Michael Smith going out, it means that Peter Snakebite Wright, with a win here in Minehead, would go £6,000 clear of Buddy Boy at the top of the World Darts Order of Merit rankings, or PDC Order of Merit.
Here's a question for you, Jarlath. At this moment in time, or when he goes out to play his match, is Peter Wright aware of that?
I don't think if I'm being
and the second part to the question is, does he care?
Yeah, I don't think he gives a toss, to be brutally honest. I mean, if I was in his position, I wouldn't do. I'll be honest. I might care if I got to a final and go, oh, yeah, oh, okay, I could be world number one again. But he's already done it. Like, he was world number one for the majority of last year.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it was his first time, then he might care. But nowadays, nah. Don't think gives toss. Personally, are we underway between Joe Cullen and Karol Sedlacek yet? No, we're not.
No,
Okay.
we're not quite yet. Oh, we are now. They've just thrown up the start. Karol Sedlacek, who is just worth noting, is the lowest ranked player left in this year's UK Open, as is the current order of merit. Karol Sedlacek ranked outside of the top 100 in spot 102. He would, however, if he can find a way past Joe Cullen, jump himself into that top 100 up to somewhere in the mid-90s. As Andrew Gilding gets the job done, another victory there and another name in the hat with another big ton plus finish from Goldfinger. So they are really starting to have the list of names for the next round take shape.
Evil Charlie. Someone's asking how Sedlacek qualified for this. I think, yeah, he did. Yeah, he won a card at Q School. Dan. Thank you very much. By the way, Alan, thank you very, very much for joining us. 3:45 a.m. on a Sunday morning in New Zealand. Have you been out on the piss all night though? That's the big question.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not an achievement if you've not gone to bed yet. If you just got in from a nightclub and stuck us on while you eat a kebab. I mean, more power to you if you are. Good on you.
But thank you for watching, Alan. Thank you very, very much, mate. Schindler's just given it the big one. And AD, very, 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 very.
I tell you what, Nathan Aspinall, we did, and I said earlier on, he likes a scrappy game, and this was always going to be one. He looks, I mean, if those of you who can see board 2, Nathan Aspinall looks like he's ready to, I don't think he's ready to throw darts, and it just could be at anyone. He looks absolutely furious, and I don't think he's angry at anything. I just think he's that Nathan Aspinall, like, ultra focused. I'm in a darting battle. He looks right into this game, but it very much looks like he's about to be leveled up as Van Duijvenbode comes back for 78. Double tops missed, but Aspinall way back on 219. So the Dutchman will come back with more darts to have a go at it. Sedlacek will get 6 darts from 166. So he will, you would got to expect at least a dart at a double.
Keep it going, by the way, boys. 105 plays 104 currently right now. Sheesh. After 9 legs. Also, quickly as well, Richie Burnett is just being interviewed at the moment on ITV. And he's through to his 3rd last 16 at the UK Open. And he looks so happy and so pleased with himself. I'm trying to see if I can find Sky Sports voice on ITV4, but I can't see him yet.
Oh, what he should start to do is he should start wearing something bright so that we can spot him, you see. Instead of just being the grey man blending into the background everywhere he goes.
That's what. You know what? I've always thought about many things about Lee Boyce, and grey and blending into a background, in particular on darts events, is definitely up there with him. Yeah. So we've got 2 games. It looks like Joe Cullen absolutely flying early doors against Karol Sedlacek.
Yeah, he's. I mean, let's be honest. Very much fancied Joe Cullen in this one, isn't it? If Sedlacek knocks Cullen out, you'd argue it's probably the biggest upset of the day. Perhaps, depending on, mind you, Jeffrey Deswan is actually, to be honest, he's probably not far off Sedlacek in the rankings. He's right down there in probably I'd guess in the 90s. Is he at the minute?
Just looking there, Dirk has just missed a tops for a 139, which would have given him the lead back. Nathan Aspinall now back for double 10 as he goes inside on tops, goes inside on 10s, double 5. Last Darningham pings it as well. Huge moment that as Nathan Aspinall continues to hold the lead in what is becoming an epic over on stage 2 again. A 107.4 average for Dirk van Dijvenbode, plays a 102.73 currently right now for Nathan Aspinall. Absolute belting of games going on.
We're now underway in the other side game as well as Karol Sedlacek gets a break of throw against Joe Cullen. We're playing his way back into this one already, but we are also, we were a second ago, we were underway, and there we are underway in a match in which the biggest tragedy of the day so far is how that hasn't been on the main stage, which is an absolute outrage. But Chris Dobie against Brendan Dolan. Should have gone and put my Newcastle shirt on, to be fair, but I didn't like to open myself up to too much abuse as of recent results.
Not here, not on this day, not on this stream, mate. You wouldn't. By the way, can I just say thank you very, very much again to everybody that is watching us, especially with darts all over the gaff. There's football on, F1 qualifying, and you're all watching us as well. So thank you very, very much. As Aspinall just hits a 180 to lead 90 on the main stage on stage 2. Dirk is back on 286, and it looks like that Nathan Aspinall is going to go into the break, leading here 6 legs to 4. Dirk needs another treble if he's going to get any pressure, and he's not going to find it. So Nathan Aspinall back in for 90. As Martijn Kleermaker and Michael van Gerwen are about to come out on the main stage. 16 there. I think he's just going to set this thing up. He's hit 34. Should be another 16 to leave tops, and there it is.
Wow. Karol Sedlacek levels up 2-2. Joe Cullen and Desmond.
19, Dirk has just lost a bit of his scoring power at the wrong moment. Aspinall for tops then. Misses 2. Misses 3. So if Dirk can find a 146, we could go into the break level. I suspect he'll probably go downstairs rather than go 20s and 18s and then double 16. I imagine he'll go for 619s. I thought hits 3 of them. Can't find 6. He can only find 4 19s. He was looking for 6 of them. Left 76, so I imagine he's going to go again in 95. 4 darts missed. 5 as he goes inside. Nathan Aspinall, huge double 10, and he lets out a massive roar as he comes off the stage. 6-4 the lead now for Nathan Aspinall as we hit the break and we hit the front. Nathan Aspinall, the 2019 UK Open champion, is back ahead in a belter between himself and Dirk van Dijvenbode.
Some cracking games this afternoon, isn't there? Some big hitters in some really, really good games. Joe Cullen holds again, but with big pressure on us. Karol Sedlacek also down to a double finish. This game is a lot tighter than I expected it to be.
Still very early doors. And there's a lot of green in the venue this afternoon. As the big Dutchman, Martijn Kleermaker, just gives a bit of a hug to MVG.
There's a lot of that. 5-6 pints in, been to the merchandise stall. Come back with some green scarves.
Has Kleermaker got a advertiser that wasn't supposed to be allowed?
Oh, I'm slightly behind. Michael van Gerwen's just got on the stage on my screen.
What's happening?
Oh, Chris. Dobie's just missed 3 darts to break. We'll get loads of those opportunities. Yeah, he's had a sticker on it, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Either that, one of two things has happened there, right?
Or it's fallen off.
But no, so I think one of two things has happened there. Either he's got one on there that he isn't allowed on there and shouldn't be on there, so he's had to cover it up. Or he's got one on there on his shirt and they've not paid him, or they've dropped it and he hasn't got the shirt. So he's just thought, oh, sod you, I'll cover it then. I'm not still showing you logo. That's one of two scenarios. Sedlacek holds 3-3. This game really tight, you know. Joe Cullen, though, putting his foot down, opens with a 180. It's Chris Dobie also finding a max in his leg, still keeping himself in the driving seat. And I'm really sorry, Jack, I'm going to leave you for just a moment while I run it and take a very, very quick comfort break.
No problem, mate. Thanks very much. See you shortly. We'll keep you up to date with everything going on then across the four boards as you join us here on the 2023 UK Open home stretch now of the fifth round. Jada, I think Dan Simpson, who's just gone for a comfort break, if you have just joined us, is with you. As Clearmaker and Michael van Gerwen getting underway on the main stage as we speak. Currently on stage 2, you have Dirk van Dijvenbode trailing by 6 legs to 4 against Nathan Aspinall. And over on the outside boards, Joe Cullen is 3 apiece with Karol Sedlacek on board 3. And board 4, Chris Dobie and Brendan Dono just got underway on their game as well. It is 1 apiece there early doors in that game. So I hope you're all good. I hope you're all enjoying your afternoon with us as I'm just going to turn around and see that we've got a Formula 1 qualifying just beginning. So I might have to keep an eye on that one, I think, there. I think it has as well, Adam, that it has clashed with one of the main sponsors. But I'm trying to work out because I can't remember what his sponsor was. Unless he was sponsored by a rival car company that isn't Kazoo. But normally they're not asked about that. So I don't know what they've done really. Ball, treble 20. No, not going to happen there, but he's got plenty of time to set that up as Van Gogh for a level game at 1 apiece. So DVD thoughts. Massive 180 hitter, but something he's missing as a viewer. I disagree there. I mean, as Dan's come back, which is the perfect time to ask the question, can't remember a better game at this World Championships just gone than Dirk van Dijvenbode against Ross Smith. And like that was because his biggest problem, I think, Dirk, is that sometimes he goes a bit astray on the outer ring, but he gives it the big crowd. He scores well. He has a catchy walk-on tune. But on a serious note, like he could easily be playing up on a big stage with the big boys. I think he could be playing.
Yeah, I think it's it's a consistency thing with him and a mindset thing. I don't think he has at the minute the temperament to sort of solidify himself as a top 8 player and stay there. He's certainly got the game. I think it's the temperament. I think he's a little bit the opposite. I think he thinks of himself as a player that does better in battles and a bit sort of Nathan Aspinall. But I think in reality, when he gets embroiled in those situations, he tends to come off worse. When he gets emotional and he gets a bit angry and I think he's an incredibly good scorer, but I think he actually plays a lot better when he's calmer. Good to watch. I can't stand the entrance. I think it's awful. I would just forbid it. If I was a PDC, I'd say absolutely not. Pick something Motown. You're not having it.
Yeah.
But but each to their own, I suppose. But no, I think he's good to watch. Crowd generally responds well to him. I think that potentially he has there's a potential for a bit of a Gezi situation with him going forward, because I think he can get a bit embroiled with the crowd sometimes, and not always in a positive way. But we'll see. I think it's all temperament and mindset for him. His game's there, isn't it? His game's unreal.
Absolutely. I don't dispute that at all in the slightest. Don't forget a couple of village notices, if you like. We're not going to be back tonight doing the 2 screens, because you can watch them both on PDC TV and on ITV4. So we're not back tonight for the multi-board stages for the 7 o'clock. Not back at that, but you can watch it on PDC TV if you wish, or a certain way of watching it that may or may not involve. No, I can't do the rest of that joke. Can't do that. But yeah, you can watch it on there. You can watch it on ITV4. Also, don't forget as well that back in this parish at 8 o'clock on Monday night, fresh from 2 of them being in Minehead, you can listen to the boys take on the day and on the weekend at the UK Open. You can hear Phil Bars, Jack Gobby-Garwood and Lee Boys back together on the live lounge. That is at 8 o'clock Monday night.
I'd wager as well that one of them
has been sorry to interrupt. Michael, this is 6 darts to win the leg, and Martijn Kleermaker has just taken out a 1-4-2. 3-1 the lead for the big serial killer.
I tell you what, this main stage today could be absolutely doomed for the favourites, because we have watched favourites fall twice in a row, and we've now got another favourite up against it.
If it gets to 4-1, you never know. He's 3 out of 4 on the doubles, is Kleermaker, and MVG just 1 of 7 early on in this game.
And he does not look happy, does he, the Dutchman?
No. Well, which one?
One of them. Could be anyone.
Yeah.
Or Dave Van Duijvenbode, any of them. None of these Dutchmen look happy.
Ooh, 1 second.
Dobie and Dolan 3-3 now, with Chris Dobie averaging a mere 108. Opening again with a 1-3-4. Dobie playing superbly. How Brendan Dolan is hanging on to the coattails here is a mystery. Holding his throw, I think that's all it is. Just not able to. Doesn't look like he to break though. What's going on? My phone's going like the clappers. It's the mother-in-law on the family chat.
I thought Eddie Howe had just been sacked.
Karel Sedlacek getting another leg back. 6-4. Again, more of a game than I think I expected it to be, but Joe Cullen still just that break up.
Kleermaker has lost all semblance of scoring in this leg.
He can have one off, can he?
He can, but...
Well, he can't on his own throw, I suppose, no.
So when you've got to break a throw against Michael van Gerwen, you have to try and consolidate it. Van Gerwen has only been 1 of 7 in the opening 4 legs, and he's now 2 of 9 as he hits that one there. We're back to a level. We're back to an on-throw game, 3-2 at the first break. Thank you. Thank you, David. Thank you. Correct answer.
Yeah, I'd go with it. I love it.
That's why we're going next year.
It is, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. And I do see, the thing is, it's Minehead, it's cool, but because the Players' Championships at Minehead is great. But the beauty of this, you see, is it combines that sort of Mineheadness experience with an amazing tournament, because this is better than the Players' Championship finals as a tournament, of course it is. So it's just a cacophony of superbness.
But yeah, as I was saying before we were kicking off there, so some village notices to continue going through. As we say, the live lounge is back with Gob, Boise, and Phil Bars, 8 o'clock on Monday night. Make sure that you join them from 8 o'clock GMT for the review of the UK Open. And don't forget that if your darting fix is needing to continue to be craved after the evening session of the UK Open tonight, you can also tune into Sporty Stuff TV or go over to the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. Finals night tonight, you'll be able to hear Henry Deacon, Chris Murphy, and Glenn Durrant talking you through all of the action there.
Who's in? Who's playing finals night, Jar? I've missed most of what's gone on in the world this week.
Yeah. I can't remember, actually, who's in tonight. So I'm just going to have a look myself, actually.
Good.
Well in. Who have we got? I don't even know, actually. I don't even know who's in tonight. Actually, genuine. Oh, yeah, here we go. Gary Stone, Scott Taylor, and Scott Walters are in Group 1. And Group 2 is Mike Norton, Andy Bolton, and the Saint, Alan Tabern.
Alan Tabern, well. I watched Alan Tabern on the main stage in Minehead a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
he went on a little run, didn't he, in the Players' Championship finals?
He did.
Chris Dobie, 97 for a break. Will we find? Oh, he's missed double tops, but we still are yet to see a break of any kind in this game between Dobie and Dolan.
How's he averaging 109?
He's playing very, very well. But he's doing most of his best work on his own throw. And then he's not getting a dart at double sometimes against Dolan, which is just helping keep that average up. It's a bit artificial sometimes, isn't it? Depending on how the game's going. But again, opening with a 140, looking really solid on his own throw, Dobie, but not quite putting enough pressure on Dolan against the throw. Mind you, Dolan just slackening off a little bit there. As we see a break back for Dirk van Dijvenbode against Nathan Aspinall. Brings it back to just 7-6 now to the Asp, but that Van Dijvenbode on throw can only find a 60 though. And as Aspinall hits the treble 20 with his first dart, that 60's already been wiped out. And we could have a break back on our hands from Aspinall's. Dobie goes 140, 140. That is how he's maintaining that 107 average. And we're back underway following the break in the other game between Joe Cullen and Karol Sedlacek. So just 4 games remaining now once we've gone beyond what's in play in this afternoon session. More good stuff from Dobie there, setting up the 32. He's going to get at least 3 darts from it, even with a big visit from Dolan here. That'll go. Wow, Joe Cullen, 170.
No, so that's a lovely thing to do.
And just as Joe Cullen takes out 170, Brendan Dolan will come to the hockey for the same outshot. And unfortunately, with very different results. And Brendan Dolan can't take that 170 out as Chris Dobie comes back looking for double 8 for a holder throw. And to get himself up to the 5 legs, which is halfway to the 10 required. And Chris Dobie takes it out. Well done, Chris Dobie.
Van Dijvenbode looking to level this game up, misses the 16 inside and goes and hits double 8. So we are level between Nathan Aspinall and Dirk van Dijvenbode. It is a best of 5. First to 3 legs will win. Van Gerwen coming out of the break hasn't necessarily helped his case here. 1-3-4 left with Clearmacher waiting on 78. Would probably get a shot, and he's going to get a shot because there's just Van Gerwen's just not. Something's not right with the big Dutchman with the green machine at the moment. Treble 18, double 12 for Clearmacher and pings it, and we're back to a 4-2 game here. With Clearmacher, if he holds through here, will be halfway to knocking out the world number 3 and the 5-time UK Open champion.
Come on, Chris.
Sorry, the 3-time UK Open champion, excuse me. Not 5, 3.
See what? Joe Cullen cannot put this one to bed, you know. And every time he looks like he's getting ahead, Sedlacek just pegs one back and just keeps that down to just one break. He's doing a good job, Sedlacek, just to keep hold of Joe Cullen here and not let him get ahead. Big visit from Dolan, that 140 at a really good time there under a bit of pressure. See what? I do like the look of Martin Clearmacher's darts, you know. I wouldn't mind having a fling with a set of them. They look very
Arsenal
interesting.
1-0 down at home at Bournemouth.
Behave yourself. Surely not.
He scored in the opening minute.
Oh, come on. Oh, that is an absolute catastrophe for my fantasy team, you know. An absolute catastrophe.
Arsenal are all over them, though, according to SofaScore. My goodness.
But I withdrew the captaincy from Haaland after not bottling it all season and keeping the captaincy on him. And I've given it to Saka, so I need him to do something to justify that. Dobie, 48 for a break of throw. It is finally the moment where we see a break just before the actual break in this match. Oh, again, no break in this match. 1, 2, 3, carousel check. This would be a huge finish outshot for a break of throw after Cullen's missed a dart to win the leg.
Clearmacher missing darts. Just quickly as well, Clearmacher missing darts to go 5-3 up. 5-2 up, in fact, actually. Made a complete mess of the 93. Couldn't quite do it from there. And now Michael Van Gerwen is looking to once again level us up at 4 apiece, this would be. Nathan Aspinall has broken the throw again and is now 8-7 up. Sorry, it was a holder throw there in that game between Dirk and Nathan. Van Dijvenbode missing a dart at the ball for 128. Clearmacher coming back to the Ockley for the biggest fish of the lot. Oh, he almost missed the ball, but it was miles away. Hit the 19 instead. So Van Gerwen's coming back for 100. Tops. He went for it. It's in there. Oh, close. So Clearmacher back. Double 12. Pings it. 4 legs since the start. 3 legs, since the break. No, in fact, actually, the last 6 legs of this match have been breaks of throw. No one's been able to hold their throw since the 3rd leg of the match.
Madness.
Chaos on the main stage at the moment in Minehead as Martin Clearmacher is 2 legs clear again of Michael Van Gerwen. He's 5 out of 7 on the checkouts. Van Gerwen just 3 of 13. Interesting. Link says B Ray. Sorry, mate. I will let you talk in a minute. I'm sorry. I'm conscious of.
No, don't worry. You're slightly ahead on some of these games, so it works better if you pick them up because I'm marginally behind you.
177 from MVG to stay in the leg. Oh, you can't fly. It's a flyer, but he'll get away with it with 2 troubles of his own visit there. Clearmacher. Someone says, Link, you can watch this live on ITV4 in the UK. So if you're on there, or DAZN or Viaplay or whichever one you normally watch. And then stages 2 to 4, you can watch live. That's a shocker from Clearmacher. You can watch stages 2 to 8 live on PDC TV. All you need is a PDC TV subscription. $2.99 for the rest of the day. Tops for Clearmacher. Inside, double 10, huge dart, pings it. And that's the first holder throw. Van Gerwen missed double 6 for a 1-2-6. And now Michael Van Gerwen knows that realistically, he has to hold his throw in this leg. Otherwise, Martin Clearmacher will come back out of the break with throw and 4 legs clear. I reckon there might be a darts change coming here shortly for Van Gogh, and he's not happy at all.
Sorry, I keep having to flick a little mute on just because I am a terrible husband. Just keep sort of shouting to see if Mrs. S will make me a cup of tea. Joe Cullen gets the job done there. After Sedlacek, we said did a really, really good job, Sedlacek, in keeping that game tight and keeping Joe Cullen in, well, some sort of proximity with him. Joe Cullen just got away at the end there, just managed to put a couple of legs together in a row, and Sedlacek couldn't put up the fight any longer. So Joe Cullen adds his name to the list of players through the last 16. Interestingly enough, we see the next board. I hadn't realised that Clayton and De Souza were on the sideboards and weren't on. I'd made a wild assumption that Clayton and De Souza would be on board number 2. I was clearly very wrong.
Joe Cullen becomes ball number 9 as MVG does hold his throw. 6 legs to 4. We come back after the break. Martin Kleermaker is 4 holds of throw away.
Oh, Chris, what are you doing?
From continuing the ridiculousness of what's been going on today.
Jar, I'll let you keep a look on board 2, just because I know you're slightly ahead of me on that. I've got it on PDC TV, but you just might seem to be a little bit quicker on the mark on that, just because Nathan Aspinall is within 1 leg of the match now. And Divenboder off with a max though, but he's going to have to win 2 on the spin, the Dutchman.
Just putting in the score from the Joe Cullen Carroll Sedlacek game. And then I will be all over that. Chance here though for Brendan Dolan for a break straight out of the...
Oh, that is the wrong time for a trebleless visit from Van Divenboder. Just left the door open slightly. Nathan Aspinall not messing about at all. Comes back with a 180 of his own, and Nathan Aspinall could get the job done in this leg.
Just going to say, so I will jump on it because obviously we're on live score, whereas you're watching it, you can tell us what happens in the leg. Excuse me, but Van Divenboder, only 2:06 left for him, but he's miles behind Nathan Aspinall, but he puts a bit of pressure, leaves himself on 66. Aspinall, 86 left. Should get a shot at the ball here. He's not going to. He's going to get 2, a double 16, and he only needs the 1. Nathan Aspinall takes out the 86, and he is into the last 16 of the UK Open. He's ball number 10, an 11 darter, Dan, to win the match. An epic between himself and Dirk Van Divenboder.
Yeah, it was superb, that, and it really was a slug. It was a proper Nathan Aspinall match, that, a real slugfest. And he does look at the end. I said Nathan Aspinall looked angry, not in a sense of anger, but that, and he is now, as we see, jumping and growling and shouting and flexing to the crowd, giving it full asp. Very, very, very fierce performance, that, from Nathan Aspinall. And he's gone back for another go. He's come back, shook hands with all of the referees and officials, then gone back for another 5 or 6 large growls and grimaces at the crowd. We are seeing full asp on board number 2. He's gone for another. He's gone for a big growl with Russ Bray. The man is giving us every bit of his passion at the end of that match.
Carlos Sainz is top of the what? What is going on in Q1? Where's Lewis? Is Lewis not set the time? No, he has. Okay. Wow. Chaos in Q1. I don't even know who the sandbagging and who's not. Absolute chaos.
Ooh, interesting here. We've waited all the way through this. Oh, right. Yeah, okay, well done. Brendan Dolan takes out 72 there. Come on, Chris, man.
Oh, I've only just seen this on stage 2. That was a very cold handshake between himself and Dirk van Duijvenbode.
Oh yeah, and then see if you watch the multiple roars and growls and jumps and shouts. And we're seeing Larry Asp.
Oh, there was some needle there.
So who have we got, Jar, on board 2 next?
Final game is Mervyn King against Dimitri van den Berg.
See, again, another scandal. That should be crossed and beaten.
Correct.
I'm not wearing. I was going to put Mervyn King on today. I was going to wear Mervyn King, and I didn't. I couldn't find him in time. Looks like
Van Gerwen is going to break back to start the session off and get back to 6-5. Playmaker hasn't come out firing out of the break. There's no doubt about that. He's finally found a treble after 9 visits. Still well behind MVG, but MVG's just it's just something not right. I don't think with the green machine at the minute. Just watching it, I don't think that anything's right about that one. MVG should cheer for a 177, and that's exactly what he's done. To leave the 32. Oh dear. This could be a big moment for the Premier League's Chris Dobie.
Oof. I like Brendan Dolan, I really do. Like I'm a big fan of Brendan Dolan. I'm just a big Chris Dobie fan, and it's not going well, is it? Today. Not today. But again, I think it's the same story of Chris Dobie for the last 3 weeks in the Prem. Playing great, right? Playing absolutely fine, just managing to find a way to not quite win. But playing well. Scoring well, throwing good darts. Who'll never win the Worlds, Mr. David? I'm just making Aspinall. Oh, I don't know. He's only young. Plenty, lots and lots and lots of time left.
Man's barely 30, if memory serves me correctly. Got plenty of years yet.
And we're underway now, so that particular board's final game of the day. That particular board's final game of the tournament.
Yeah, it's a sad day whenever the multiple runes finish. Double 12, looking for a 144 MVG, but won't matter because he's coming back for it. Clearmaker with a flyer again. He should just go for the 19s, just try and do a Rasma.
Yeah, that's it. If it's working, isn't it? Sometimes. And it's working for Johnny Clayton as he goes 140-180 in the opening leg. He is on throw, but the ferret is off to a flyer. 81 after 9. Jose, a mile behind.
Much like what happened in the Premier League final.
Right, opportunity for a break for Dobie here. If he sets up, if he can tee, then that's perfect. 131, teeing up the 36. Dolan back on 138, so Dobie will get 3 darts from 36 to break. Reason to be excited. As it also looks like on board number 2, Russ Bray, who is doing his own intros. That's what I like, you know. That's what I like about Reds. Referees doing their own intros. That's what happens in Reds, isn't it? That's cool.
It used to be Little Richard that did that, didn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. As Mervyn King comes out, quick handshake for Bevins. And we're...
just quickly, guys, do you know how many 180s from the Aspinall? Yes, 21. 21. Dirk, 19. 19. Dirk hit 12. Asp hit 7. There we go.
Now that is service, that, isn't it?
Clearmaker's got Clearmack has got 3 at double 12. Needs to go, and he's missed 5 at it. And he goes inside on 6 as well. 6 clear leg darts for his first leg after the break. Van Gerwen, 95. Try to go double 19, double 19. Wasn't going to work. Clearmacker back on double 3. Can't afford to go inside now, and that's exactly what he's just done. This is the problem. When you get this close, you've missed 9 leg darts, and Michael Van Gerwen punishes you on double 16, and he takes the lead. 3 straight legs after the break. Big moments like that. Can't do it. Just the 3 180s in the game, actually, Jack. MBG has hit them all.
Oh, early break for the Ferret, averaging a mere 111. You want to book his ideas up quickly. Again, Dobie just not able to do it on his own throw here as Brendan Dolan 3 darts from 44 for another break, and for the Irishman to go within 1. And he does. So now Brendan Dolan throwing for the match.
Just also looking at a bit of qualifying because it looks like that Lewis Hamilton's in a bit of danger here. Would not be good. Wow. Nika Hulkenberg, where's that come from?
Clearmacher is absolutely razor sharp on the 19s today, isn't he? Razor sharp on the 19s.
But that, I tell you what, he's 8-6 down now. It should be 7-all. The amount of darts he missed in that last leg to win it is going to cost him, I think.
Oh, Shanghai 120 from the Ferret, 3-0. Johnny Clayton is here to play darts today. He is not messing about at all. And Jose de Souza isn't, it seems. Goodness me. Dobie needs a miracle. 2 troublous visits, trying to keep himself in this tournament. And it looks very much as if the hopes of the Northeast are going to rest fully on Callan Rids.
Clearmacher is still ahead. He can check out a 158. Both of them on a 158. Goes low with the first dart, so it won't matter anyway. Guides it in, and he will set himself up with a 96. Van Gerwen, this will hurt if it goes. Won't go though because it goes low on the 19s. It's 2 19s himself. 2 treble 19s to leave himself double 12. This has to go. Where's he going? Double top, missed. Van Gerwen is 1 leg away, you'd feel. He's officially 1 leg away now. Yes, double 3, last dart in hand, and he gives the big one because he knows how big that one is. 2 out the last 3 legs. Martin Clearmacher missing darts to win it. And now it is a formality, I have to say.
Right things at the right time.
This is what I've always said about MBG. If you have chances to get rid of him, you have to take them. Martin Clearmacher was 6-4 up at the last break, and he's now lost 5 legs on the spin.
Yeah, it's not going to get the job done, is it? And speaking of getting the job done, Johnny Clayton, 4-0. And this is looking an absolute breeze for the Welshman.
And speaking of getting the job done, Brendan Dolan.
Yeah, played well, to be honest. Played well. Played well enough to win. Again, didn't do anything particularly exciting. Didn't set the world alight. First 10 legs of the match were all holds, and then Dolan just managed to get his foot down, and Dobie didn't have a response, to be honest. Just couldn't go scoring and going in the back end of the game. Johnny Clayton is absolutely bashing Jose de Sousa up here.
Well, not even need a break at this rate. Double 12 for the match. Inside, double 6. Way off. Not the third chance, though. 6-4, he was down, was Michael van Gerwen. And Martijn Kleermaker doesn't get a leg after the break. 6 straight legs lost to MVG. And he is ball number 12 in the UK Open draw. We have 4 spots left. And we're going to get them all done by about... I reckon we might get the draw by about 4:30, which would be lovely.
Yeah, we're looking good, aren't we?
An early draw? What is this sorcery?
Because, the last game on the stage will be played at a steady pace.
Yeah, it won't be...
It's not going to be fast, but it's going to be steady.
Yeah, I agree with that.
5-0 now, Johnny Clayton. Oh, that average has plummeted to 103.
Shite.
Slacking.
Merv has got the opening break of throw against Dimitri, by the way. 74 for a 15-dart break, and he's first to a finish. Can't find it on the 161. But he's left himself pretty handy. He's left himself double 18. Dimi had the fish, not going to hit it. And now Merv is looking to try and consolidate, and that's exactly what he's just done. 2-0. The king. He does love Minehead, doesn't he, Merv? Sure, he's made a couple of quarterfinals down here recently.
Yeah, and let's be honest, he's a man who isn't in the best of form, is it? You know, he's certainly been on the slide, let's say, over the last 12 to 18 months, down the rankings, and just generally not picking up prize money where he would have, where you would have previously expected him to. But he's still got the game, hasn't he? And he can still turn up, and he quite likes these environments.
My fault, actually. I've got that completely wrong. He made a quarterfinal of the Players down here, and then obviously he made the final of the Players 3 years ago. But the problem with that was that was in Coventry, unfortunately. Wasn't in Minehead when he lost 11-10 to MVG. I'm looking at the rest of it, though. And he hasn't actually made the 5th round of it's the first time he's made the 5th round of the UK Open in 4 years. Hasn't gone past what would have been the old 6th round in a long time.
So yeah, far away from getting this final game underway between Cross and Beaton on the other sideboard.
Please.
No shenanigans and entrances to be gotten on with. You'd think they'd just be relatively quickly getting underway.
Can't believe
Jose's turned up.
What's that?
No, Jose de Sousa's arrived.
Yeah. I can't believe already, right, that we're nearly done. We're nearly done for our coverage of the UK Open, at least, but appreciate the rest of the coverage will go on. But it's flown by this afternoon. Love it when we get pacey matches, quick matches. All good.
Yeah, I think they haven't hung about on the sideboards either. We haven't, there is a sort of potential that have a bit of a drop off, and you end up with only one game, and then you one game running somewhere else. But it's stayed quite. Is he bust 81?
I'd say, how the has he done that?
With Jose, he's
Yeah.
Jose de Sousa at 81.
I'm just gonna have a look at it in a minute on my phone. Oh no! I've just missed it, unfortunately, which is annoying. Oh no! How's he? Right, how the fuck's he done that? Is he? He was looking for double 5, I think, and has just hit the 12s. I think is what happened anyway. He busted his score. You can't do that, though. I'm sorry. All right, let's have a look at the football. Oh my! Still 1-0 Bournemouth.
Oh, so we're very close. So I've just on the other street, I've flipped the other camera on there, and we have got darts being thrown at the board by Steve Beaton and Rob Cross. So they are underway any moment now. In fact, I think we're just seeing a last 3 at the board each and a handshake, and then off we will be going in that one. Although for some reason the Clayton de Sousa board isn't working. Oh, there we go. It is now. It is excellent this year, the way that the PDC have set up PDC TV for this event. Certainly just watching it the way I am now, being able to just flick 1, 2, 3, 4 boards up and down. Jose gets another one back as well. Very impressive stuff. 6-2, still a long, long way back for the Portuguese, but he's still in it and he still has a chance. Steve Beaton and Rob Cross are having the longest warm-up in history. And it's not, like when we say about Darts Connect and it's showing warming up, and we think, oh yeah, they're just like, they've just hit a button on the iPad. These two must have thrown 100 darts at the board each. Like they're just, I'm watching them on the camera. There we go. We've got the ball out the way.
We're underway. Final game on the outside board. Sad day. Always a sad moment when the outside boards are finitoed. But hopefully we get a cracker between Steve Beaton and Rob Cross to end our day. We have 4 more spots. That's it left in the Kazoo UK Open draw. So I'll tell you what they are at the moment. Jeffrey Desvine is ball 1. William O'Connell will be ball 2. Adam Gablas is ball 3. Richie Burnett, board 4. Gary Anderson, ball 5. Ball 6, Martin Schindler. Ball 7, Luke Humphreys. Ball 8, Andrew Gilding. Ball 9, Joe Cullen. Ball 10, Nathan Aspinall. Ball 11, Brendan Dolan. And ball 12 will be Michael Van Godwin.
I think we're in for a shock. I fancy Rids,
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I just think Peter Wright is a bit. Well, we know Peter Wright's happy to say like he's a bit wobbly at the minute, and he's not. It's not quite right. Now, yesterday it wasn't quite right. It wasn't quite right midweek in the Premier League. It wasn't quite right on stage 2. Now he's on the main stage today. Callan's pretty solid, and he's quite a bit like Dobie in some ways, and he's pretty. Doesn't let it all get on top of him. Doesn't get really emotional. Doesn't get drawn in. Just think if he turns up, stands there, and throws darts at the board, Peter Wright might beat himself.
Break of throw, by the way, from Jose de Sousa against Johnny Clayton. And if you were to get a break here, if you were to hold throw here, only the one break of throw behind going into the break. Don't see it happening with the start, but we could all dare to dream. Dimi van den Berg has won the last 3 legs against Mervyn King.
So yeah, he's just working his way into this match, isn't he? The Belgian.
Early breaker throw as well for Rob Cross, who is 1-0 up on Steve Beaton.
We can't be far away from getting Wright and Rids out. We're going to have a quick interview with Joe Cullen first, I think, aren't we?
Yeah.
Any more scores in the football?
Is it still 1-0 Bournemouth?
I'm just having a quick look to see where we're...
Oh, it is as well. Lol.
Scores. Oh, Villa are winning, so are Brighton. McAllister penalty. Well, what a strange day. A strange day indeed. What a big leg from Steve Beaton against the darts here. 180, 137 as Johnny Clayton puts an end, you would think, to what looked like a little bit of a comeback. Takes another break from Jose de Souza. 7-3 now with the darts in hand. Surely to goodness, this is far, far too big a mountain to climb for Jose de Souza to come back from now.
I do love the Red
What
Bulls.
on earth has Dimmy done that? I think Dimmy just nearly put a dart through Bevan. Dimmy nearly put a dart through Bevins' foot, I think. They get a bounce out that very much nearly collided with an official.
I've just been watching the what's it called, the qualifying there, and Max Verstappen. I love that. People are thinking, oh, I'll tell you what, Alonso's looking quick. Oh, the Ferraris are looking quick. Max Verstappen just goes, yeah, out the way, lads. 0.5 of a second quicker than anybody else.
Crikey.
Out the way, boys. Coming through.
Yeah, it's you suspect a sign of things to come, don't you?
Yeah. Bang, see you later, you're getting pole.
For the following season.
Bang, see you later.
Well, Steve Beaton managed to bust 24, allowing Rob Cross to come back and mop that up. But that should have been a break for Steve Beaton there. It really should have. He had 3 darts to sort that out and didn't quite get it done. He's opened with a 28. It is not going particularly well for the bronzed Adonis. Rob Cross managing to look very, very comfortable at averaging 86.
That's what he does, to be fair. And you talk about getting players out. The man in the black and white shirt, like his football team, is coming out on to the stage.
Yeah, I do love that little. Obviously, football colours are still not quite officially like that, but I love that little black and white stripe trim that both him and Dobie have gone for. It's just that little bit around the bottom. I think it looks well.
Here comes the world number 2 onto the stage. He looks quite emotional, actually, for some reason. Peter Snowflake, right?
Well,
there's Jo. Great to see her looking well as well.
He's not an Arsenal fan, is he? That's not the reason for his emotion.
I don't think so. It's great to see Jo looking well, in particular, because I know how much it affected him last year. Go on, Stevie boy. Oh, yes. 102. Love to see it.
Yes, indeed. In fact, I'm going to flip the camera over and I'm going to actually see it. Oh, well, he's gone the very untraditional route there. Treble 5. What is... Well, that I can't even work the maths out there. What's he done? Treble 5, treble 17.
Who's that? Beaton?
Yeah.
Well, that's 57 plus 15 is what? 72?
Double so 18.
Yes, who's gone? Eh?
Treble 5, treble 17, double 18. Surely not.
That's not 102, is it?
Can't work out what he's done there.
Chaos. Doesn't matter because he's gone. He left 92 after 9 against the throw.
Getting his way back into this.
Please. Need more staying alive is what we need.
We need more Steve Beaton in the UK Open. That's what we need. We need more Steve Beaton in darts altogether. Just need pressure from Rob Cross. Oh, how's he bust 92?
I think what he's done is he's gone treble 20, tried to go for the double 16, hit the double 8, and then hit the double 6. And yeah.
That's the second time that Steve Beaton has bust what you would assume to be unbustable scores in 3 legs.
Yeah, I think what he's done is he's gone treble 20, then he's hit the double 16, he's gone inside, and then when he wants double 8, it's just hit double 16. But have a look at it. You can tell me.
I'm too far behind. They've caught up with me too much. Oh, hang on. Shut up. It's decided to unmute itself for reasons. Johnny Clayton seems to all of a sudden, it's because they had a break. That's why. I was just thinking to myself, how on earth hasn't Johnny Clayton won this match yet? And it's because it's 7-3 and they've been for a break, haven't they?
Yeah.
They've been for a wee and a cig. And that's why he hasn't won this match yet.
Brewing a poo.
And in 10 minutes' time, he will have won this match.
He's gone for brewing a poo, as my boss always likes to say. Dimmy looks like he's going to be conceding the 8th leg, and Merv looks like he's going to be holding it. Should go back to 4-all in a minute as we're underway in our final game of the 2023 UK Open 5th round, as Callum Ridds is first to a finish against Peter Snakebite, right? Although Wright leaves himself on tops as Merv does take it out for a 4 apiece. Callum Ridds can't find the treble 19, can't find the treble 18 that he'd needed to go for the bullseye. Doesn't leave it particularly handy either. Only 68 left. Right for tops, and we have our first leg on the board. Steve Beaton probably needs this. Well, he needed the hinks there, really. As it looks like Rob Cross might be about to go a double breaker throw ahead.
Yeah, you'd back him, wouldn't you? There you go, 1 dart straight in.
Looks like Steve Beaton will not be staying alive come 4:30 this afternoon. Don't forget that we will be with you for the 6th round draw. We'll let you know what goes on. We'll stay with you, and then that'll be our coverage of the day done. That'll be our coverage of the tournament done. However, interviews will be coming tonight with all 8 quarter-finalists, if the Wi-Fi allows. Phil Barr. And then he's back Monday night alongside Jack Gobbigar with Lee Boyce for the Online Darts Live Lounge. So make sure that you join them for that. Full review of the UK Open. Or if you're not available Monday night, you can listen anytime you like on the podcast feed. Just find us by searching the Online Darts Podcast. Yeah, thanks, Richie. You got that right. Yeah, it is 102. My maths has let me down there. Yeah, 76 it is, not 72 as I was thinking before. So yeah, it is 102. Thank you. It's been a long week. We're both still recovering from COVID. Let us off.
Yeah, it's been a rough week, to be fair. I'm quite. Yesterday, I couldn't hold a conversation. I couldn't keep my breath long enough. I feel an awful lot brighter today. Johnny Clayton.
Jesus. Sorry, Charles Leclerc has just gone 2/10 clear of Max Verstappen at the top of the table in qualifying. More of this.
Mervyn King is going to go into the break at least level. Oh, Callan. Well, Callan Ridge handing a leg there to Peter Wright. Just gift wrapped.
Silver bow on it.
Yeah, that is a bit of a... You can't be doing that. It's a bit like, you know, I know we talk about the form that Peter's shown of late and the Premier League situations and things like that. But a bit like we said about Van Gerwen earlier on, Peter Wright is not a man that you can afford to not take your chances against. You know, if you've got two darts at double and you miss them both, Peter Wright is going to take that leg off you.
Mervyn King has just gone and found a break of throw in the last leg. 15 darter, and he might be about to potentially go into this break 6-4 up on Dimitri van den Berg. But what I want to do is focus on board number 3 because Johnny Clayton might be.
Yes, we've got some match starts incoming here. At least one. You would think you would back him at this point to get the job done. Oh, and he's missed a match start there, hasn't he? Now, Jose, your back is against the wall.
Martin Schindler.
Oh, he's gone around that and clarted about with it, hasn't he?
Made a complete Horlicks of it.
3 more match starts for Johnny Clayton. Steve Beaton still cannot get his scoring shoes on. And there we go. Johnny Clayton books his spot. Let's see if we can see if I can extend this a little bit. See what that does. Oh, it doesn't do a great deal.
Another missed darts for Callan Ridds on the main stage. Darcy's nicked good, I'm afraid. Right, pings double 16, and he does consolidate that break of throw. So he is into a 3-0 lead early doors here. As I say, we might be getting a very early finish, which would be lovely. Stevie B against Rob Cross is our last game.
Yeah, this is far too many early mistakes and missed doubles from Callan Ridge. That's at least 5 now. And you just can't do that against Peter Wright because he will just beat you. He's too good. Even when he's not playing well, he's too good. Rob Cross, you know, I think I've focused probably a little bit on Steve Beaton not doing what he wants to in this game. You know, he's not scoring particularly well and not taking keeps sort of busting strange numbers. But Rob Cross averaging just shy of a ton, 6-2 up. Like, Rob Cross looks all right, doesn't he?
Really does. By the way, Merv King missed chances for a 6-4 lead, but it is now Dimitri van den Berg 5-all with Mervyn King as they go off for their final break there on stage 2. Don't forget the 4th round draw will be following the game between Peter Wright and Callan Ridds as he looks to get a 1-1-6 to try and get his first leg on the board, and he overpitches on the double, and he's not particularly happy as the Wright with the way he's doubling at the minute. Can't seem to buy a double. Rob Cross continuing to make his way. Adrian Lewis lost, unfortunately, Cameron. He lost 10-5 to the wall, Martin Schindler. As you can see on your screen, all the results that we've got so far are just scrolling round. Tops for Ridds. Inside, 10s. Inside, 5s. Outside. His head is all over the gaff.
Wow.
Treble 19, ping. 18, ping. Tops. Well over. Pitched about 3 inches high above the wire. You've got to be aggressive first start here, Callum. And he hits it, and you can see he's like, I can't believe finally got it. So 3-1.
That is, though, 1 out of 10 on the doubles for Callum Ridds.
Could be worse. Could be better, though.
Or is it 1 out of 11, actually? Yeah, 1 from 11 now, yeah. Rob Cross again started opening a leg with a 180, backing it up with a 140, even when Steve Beaton is throwing really well. It's not well enough to even come close to the way Rob Cross is playing. It's averaging a ton, but playing some very, very attractive stuff today, Rob Cross.
Gene, you'll be pleased to hear it's currently 5-all between himself and Dimitri van den Berg with Mervyn King. We will take the end of that match as soon as the Beaton Cross game is done. Our job here is to keep you up to date with what's going on the outside boards, but we will then focus on what's going on stage 2 first, and then we will turn our attention to the main stage as well. Rob Cross takes an 8-2 lead into the break. Not good in the slightest. While we are waiting, I'm just going to put the Ridds right game on the StreamYard, as we can see there. So you can see what's going on. I'm sure if you're watching on ITV4, you'll already know. Chance here, 17s. For the ball, for a 4-1 lead, into the break. And he pings it.
Wow.
No rush. Peter Snakebite right. But all the games are now on the break as things stand. See if Merv and Dimmy are back underway. Yes, they are. So we'll take the Merv King game against Dimitri van den Berg. Just see. We'll keep that on for a little bit until Rob Cross and Steve Beaton are live. Are we live? Why wasn't I told? Can't believe that Arsenal is still 1-0 down at home at Bournemouth at half time.
No, it's bizarre, isn't it? Well, strange day for sport. This.
It's hilarious, is what it is. We've got QPR behind. What I need. Oh, County getting on. Oh my God, County are 1-0 down as well. Dearie me, shocking. Looks like Wrexham are going up.
Well, that seemed a foregone conclusion, didn't it? Well,
it didn't, because Notts County were flying. Now they're just falling apart.
Well, I sort of mean only a matter of time. You know, if it wasn't now, then
both of them. I think both of them deserve to go up, though. 2 of them should go up this season.
Yeah, I'd rather it wasn't Hartlepool they displaced, if I'm honest, but that's starting to look like increasingly likely it will be Hartlepool that they displace.
Outside of the ball hit by Dimmy. So Merv comes back for tops and for a break of throw. Inside on the 20s. Hits the double 10. And starts off the second part of this match with a crucial break of throw. 6-5. Merv leads.
Yeah, no messing either there. Straight in. Bang, bang.
See if I can zoom in a little bit. Help out a little bit and see if that'll work. Not sure if it will, but we'll see.
Tell you what, the quality of advertisements on ITV4 needs to be looked at with some urgency, I'd say.
I agree with that.
Because what it seems is that they've not managed to structure a deal in which they change their advertising from what would be on if it was their standard ITV4, like sort of 3:30 in the afternoon, you know, the casebook of Sherlock Holmes with Jeremy Brett, you know, and change it. What?
Is that what normally is on? I didn't realise anybody watched ITV4 unless there was some other sporting event going on it.
Yeah, I think you'll find that the classic sort of late 80s Jeremy Brett interpretation of Sherlock Holmes is on the daily, on ITV4. Did you not work from home during the lockdown? Did you not?
No, I was probably the only person going into an office at that point. Although no, you actually were as well.
Yeah, I did. I worked. I was out and about a lot. I remember I had a special letter. It meant I was allowed to drive places. It's very good.
Just watching Max Verstappen, absolutely.
But yeah, they don't seem to have been able to restructure any of their advertising deals where when the darts are on, they can sell different adverts because all it is just life insurance and guide dogs. Like,
I mean, that is not the darts audience, to be fair.
no, honestly, that's what it is. So normally it's their standard like ITV4 daytime adverts. How someone's not managed to structure a deal where when they've got the darts on, they can sell some separate advertising other than life insurance plans and guide dog donations.
Well, Dimmy's just gone for a 1-2-2 and checked that out really well. So he is on fire at the minute. Ooh. Come on, Charles.
Right, so it looks like we're very close. So on the camera, Beacon and Cross are having a bit practice throwing some arrows around. So I think any moment now we will be back underway on board 4. Where are the outside boards, Jar? Where have they got them positioned in Minehead this year?
Centre stage as always, mate.
Upstairs?
Yeah.
All right.
So that gets closed on a Friday night and a Thursday night. There's no big thing, which is why I've said when we go, I want to go to Exeter and go to the Premier League.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
We'll stay.
That's a very good plan.
We'll stay at the Premier Inn on the Thursday night, and then go and walk out, and then drive around to the venue on Friday morning. I suspect.
A fine plan. Right, so we are back underway now with Beaton and Cross. Back underway on ITV. And let's be honest, narrowing in on the business end of this game. Board number.
This is it, really. 3 games left, 3 more spots left of the Kazoo UK Open. Thank you again, everybody, for all your watching with us throughout the weekend. It's been a genuine pleasure being with you. As Wright wants 100. He's going to go for tops. No. He wanted to go for treble 20 to lead double 10. Didn't work out. So Rids is back for 92.
Well, he really needs this as well, to be fair. 92, a gettable finish. And it's very, very much needed.
Stevie B. Bullseye. Huge. Big finish that. It's only for a hole to throw, but it feels like so much more than that.
Oh, Callan Ridge on the bull.
Yep. Oh, yes.
Lovely. Now there is a leg back, but that's just a hold of throw, though, and Peter Wright still really in control.
Especially when you hit a max first visit.
That's it. Rob Cross is flying, isn't he? 134, 134. His average just keeps increasing as the game goes on, really playing his way into it. Just a visit of 26 for Wright. Doesn't really follow that opening 180.
All I'm asking is that, especially now we've got to about, 10 past 4. If we I appreciate we got Callum, and I know you have how much you like him, but if we could please just get this done quickly.
Yeah, to be honest, mate, looking at this game, if it looks you know, it looks a lot of things. A noble leg, it does not at the minute, does it?
No.
It simply doesn't look like it's got a noble written all over it.
Roberto Cross looks like he's going to be one leg away from, and he is.
And there we go.
One
Absolutely.
leg away from the fifth round.
Really solid, right? Good stuff from Rob Cross today. Really good. Looks great. And this just keeps swinging as well, doesn't it? On board too. But that double 18 from Dimitri van den Berg to find a break puts him very close now, within 2, and all of a sudden the Belgian looks very close to the finish line. That double 18, perfect timing.
And it looks like Max Verstappen's going to be in a league of his own, it looks like, for qualifying this time around. It's annoying. Oh, well. Right, 5-2 up. He's halfway to his spot in the UK Open 6th round. Steve Beaton, he's got to try and produce the mother of all comebacks if he is to stay in the UK Open. Can't see it personally.
No, it's looking highly unlikely with Rob Cross down to 65, but
What a
if Beaton can find a 148.
What a 174, by the way. Huge.
Is this it for Steve Beaton at the UK Open 2023? No, he's still not done yet. One more visit at least. Dimitri van den Berg narrowing in on victory.
This would be huge if he was to pull this off.
Callum Rich cannot find that treble 20 at all. He's bouncing from 5s to 1s to treble 1s to treble 5s. He just can't get going. Well, now.
Live school. So a problem with live score?
Let me have a look.
I think there seems to be with Merv and Dimmy.
Oh, I was going to say, I've got the other game on only because I'm conscious of running slightly behind on my iPad up here on the ITV stream. So
But Rob Cross is into the last 16. He is ball number 14. He beat Steve Beaton by 10 legs to 3. It's a very comfortable victory for Roberto Cross. Young Robert is doing bits again at the UK Open. And that's it. Multi-board room is done.
it certainly is, mate. That is a terrible shame, really, isn't it?
It really
we love
is.
multi-board. I mean, not this. Well done, Billy, for providing your television.
Let me just get up the live score on stage 2 because it looks like that the denouement in that game is Dimitri van den Berg wants double 16 potentially.
Yes, you do feel we're about to probably have a result incoming, don't you?
Yes. It looks like, though, that the live, certainly from my point of view, the live score system that we use is having a bit of a battering. So bear with, and let me see if I can share some screens with you all, because certainly at the moment things are going a little bit pear-shaped with the live data.
Yeah, it seems that way a little bit, doesn't it? I just haven't been able to click around there, and I can't quite. It's having a bit of a nightmare on both games.
What I can tell you is that Dimi van den Berg is now 9-6 up, and I can tell you that we are back on throw in the game between Peter Wright and Callum Ridds. What I can
Ridds
tell you.
just got going, hasn't he? Just managed to find a break against Peter Wright. Now, if they go in, I think that's very different, I think. Looking at how dominant Peter Wright was in the early stages of that match, going into the second and final break at 5-all is a huge difference, isn't it, to both players? You know, Callum Ridge could have, at one point, it looked like he was going into the, you know, he was going in 5-0 down at one point. If he can go in 5-all, that's massive for Ridds.
Absolutely, it is. Peter Wright, though, has just hit himself a 145 to leave 36. Callum Ridds now on 257. Can't seem to find it. Dimi is looking for a 151 to win the match. Can't get it. Peter Wright looking at double 18. Goes outside first dart. Goes outside second dart. They're two really well thrown darts. And he kissed it in off the wire for a 6-4 lead. So Mervyn King looking for double 5 for a 9-8 game on stage 2.
Oh, and he lands it.
Huge.
Oh, and that does put Mervyn King on throw to try and level this game and force the noble leg. So Dimitri van den Berg 9-8 ahead in a race to 10, but Mervyn King is throwing first. The King scores 100. And it is looking likely this could go to a deciding leg here.
I'm going for a quick comfort break.
Enjoy. Mervyn King finding the treble again twice, first two down, and then 140. So Mervyn King down to a 261 after 6 darts. Dimitri van den Berg can only try and keep pace with him here. King looking like forcing it. If we do get a deciding leg, it would be the Belgian on throw, but that still is a big if. As the PDC's live scores system still seems to be having a bit of trouble bringing itself back up. Now,
Tell you what I'll do. I'll try Safari rather than Chrome and see if I can get it streaming that way.
So Mervyn King now down to 62, but Dimitri van den Berg will get a go at 161 for the match. Won't get it because he goes straight into the treble 5, follows it with a 5 and a 20. So a score of just 40. Mervyn King comes back for 62. So he'll be looking treble 10, double 16 to try and force a noble leg. Oh, and he misses the double 16, comes well inside, right in the center of the big number. So now Dimitri van den Berg gets a go at 121 for the match, straight into the treble 1 this time. 2 goals he's had at big checkouts, and he's found the treble 5 and the treble 1 with his first darts. So double 8 for Mervyn King. Misses with the first outside. Misses outside with the second. He's blocked it. He's had to move all the way. He's pretty much having to throw over Bevins' shoulder. And misses outside with the third. So 3 darts missed by Mervyn King to force a noble leg. So 3 match starts at double 19, 38 required. Straight into the big number for Dimitri van den Berg. Into the 3, leaves double 8. 1 dart in hand. Misses outside. So 2 match starts missed there by Dimitri van den Berg. Mervyn King back again for another go at double 8. Misses it inside this time.
God,
Misses outside double 4. Misses outside double 4 again. This is unbelievable. So now Dimitri van den Berg will get 3 more match darts, this time coming for double 8. Straight in first dart, Dimitri van den Berg books his spot in the final 16.
Chaos at the end there. It's hashtag
He's
book
becoming
dart.
incredibly emotional. I think he's weeping into the armpits of Mervyn King. He's stroking the board. This is very, very new, emotional Dimitri. Stop it.
Chaos.
Oh, stop it. He's falling to the floor. What is he doing? You're better than that.
All right, Chris Sutton. You're better than that.
It's your job.
You're better than that. It's your job.
Right, I'm going to have a quick nip next up before we finish off on the main stage.
Bournemouth 2-0 up. What is going on? Sorry, appreciate we do have a game to bring you. Peter Wright, 6-4 now, leading against Callan Rids. We will try and get the score back, at least so you can see what's going on. I appreciate you can watch this live on ITV4. I do understand that. So
I don't want to alarm you either, but Chelsea are winning. There's a harbinger of the apocalypse.
My God. A mate of mine actually works for Chelsea, and I've been gutted. And I've been gutted for him recently because his job is purely dependent on if they win on the pitch or not. So, yeah. Have a quick look. Peter Wright wants a 1-6-1. He's going to set this up. He's not going to go anywhere, and he'll just set that up beautifully for a 1-2-1 to lead tops. Rids miles back on the Azealia Banks. 2-1-2. Tops. Yes, pinged. 7-4 right now leads. Tell you what we'll do with Dan when Dan comes back. Question time, people. We've had some questions throughout the day. How many 180s did the cross game have? Bear with. I shall have a check. But if you want to get some questions in, we'll answer some of them while we're waiting for the draw, waiting for the end of this game as well. So let's have a quick look. Oh, that's a huge L for Arsenal. If it's still 2-0. Good Lord. How many 180s did Cross hit? Let's have a look. Rob Cross hit 3. Steve Bean hit 2. Angry goat. I hope you're not angry after that response. And it looks like Callan Rids may just be starting to fall away at this stage.
Well then.
I'm just looking at this at the minute with Bournemouth and Arsenal. It's like pure Football Manager, I think. Arsenal have had 16 shots against 3 shots at 84% possession, and they're down 2-0.
Well, apparently that first goal, only from what I saw, the first goal went in after 10 seconds.
Brilliant. Yeah, right. We are just, like I say, we're trying to get the scores back at least. At the moment, it's not working out, but we are trying to get the score back. So at least you can have a look at that. rather than just our ugly mugs. It's just not
Yeah, it
working.
seems to be. It's sort of intermittently updated itself.
Tops for an 8-4 lead? No, inside.
Oh, hang
So
on. Does it work? If you refresh it, mate, because mine's working again now.
if you've got it, then put it on. We'll use your window.
1 second, then. I'm going to put it over there. Can I fill that?
Seems like the internet in the venue's just.
Let's do something better than that. Present.
Because mine isn't working. Don't forget, we'll stick with you for the UK Open draw, round 6 coming up. And that'll be our coverage done of the 2023 UK Open. However, you can still join us. Let's have a look to the stream. There we go. Oh, I thought you got it on there. Sorry.
Yeah, it's on. No. For some reason, it's not. All of a sudden, it's rewound itself back. It's working, but it's 2 legs behind.
Okay. Well, there we go. Hopefully it'll work at some stage.
But yeah. End up behind now somehow.
Yeah. If the score's frozen, there's literally nothing we can do. I'm just going to see if there's another way that we can do this. Stand by. Might have to use another.
Do you remember when we used to have that other website that was mint and then it got ruined?
That was Live Darts Data before it got taken over by the PDC. So
they ruined it.
They absolutely did. See if I can get. There's a match summary on Flash Score, but I'm trying to see if I can get a turn or something. Live game on. I don't think we can, unfortunately. Well, that's 24. It's.
I mean, I think I was going to say by the time we get up and running, this could be over and done with because Peter Wright is once again hitting his stride, isn't he?
He is flying at this moment in time, and Snakey looks like this could be done in the next couple of legs. We said the draw would be about 4:30, and I think we're going to be about right. I think
we'll pretty much be bang on because I don't think they'll be clarting around too much. Mind you, what time have ITV committed to on their scheduling? 5 o'clock.
Yes, but the key thing there is that they get it done quickly because that way then they've got more time to clear everything out. So all the people that are in the main area there, they'll get booted out and they'll have time to go from that. So Rids is on 277 if you're interested at the moment in this 14th leg, with Wright looking for a 139 to lead the fish. Can't do it, only in 99. So that's where we are at the moment. Rids, though, looking for a 180, and he gets it to lead 97. So what can Wright do? He can hit treble 20. No, he can't, excuse me. He can hit 3 darts around the treble 20, but not one in it to leave 150. Treble 19, tops ping by Rids, 8-6 in this game. Appreciate you can watch this live on ITV4. If you've got any questions, by the way, then please put them in the chat room. We'd much prefer to listen to that and answer questions. See that? So at least that's now what, 7-4, is it?
No, so what it's doing, if you look, it's catching up by throwing every shot to catch up. So within the next 30 seconds or so, I think we should be
good to go.
Somewhere close to live, I think.
Are we live? We're not live now. Why wasn't I told? These are some of the questions you should be asking me.
Oh, that 97 from Callum Riz was lovely. Very nice.
Proper nice one. Top bins.
Yeah, properly dispatched very, very nicely.
Callum Rids, though, is not going away. Appreciate what we're looking at here is a 7-4 game. However,
Well, has it
it
got
is
itself stuck again, hasn't it?
yeah. Well, no, it's getting back
Oh,
there.
there we are. Maybe it's taking a couple of seconds between legs to.
But currently, eight legs to 6 currently as we speak. And Callum Rees is first to have finished in the 15th leg, with Peter Wright a little bit further behind. He's on a 164 and he's going to get a go at it regardless. And, he's going to get 6 to clean up 164, so he doesn't need to go for this.
You can just tee it up.
Treble 19 he was going for, doesn't get it, hits the 25 and then hits the treble 20. So he leaves himself on 60, 94 scored, 104, sorry, scored. Right, can't find the big trebles and he only has 143. This is no pressure at all for Callum Ridds. Did he get tops? Oh my, but it doesn't matter because he hits double 10 and he gets the game back on throw.
Well,
if you are just joining us, it's been a ridiculous afternoon in Minehead. Those are all the scores, and you can clearly see what's happened on the main stage already. Gerwin Price, gone. Michael Smith, gone. Danny Noppert, the defending champion, gone. Chris Dobie, another player in the Premier League this year, gone. The Masters champion. Yeah, there you go. Danny Noppert, gone. Dirk van Dijvenbode losing 10-8 to Nathan Aspinall. He's gone. And they should say Jimmy getting through there against Mervyn King. On stage 3 earlier today, Richie Burnett coming through 10-9 against Ted Ebbets. Martin Schindler, the Wall, beating Adrian Jackpot Lewis 10-5. Joe Cullen by the same scoreline, beating Karol Sedlacek. And Johnny Clayton, who made the final in Exeter in the Premier League on Thursday night, 10-3 winner over Jose de Sousa. Stage 4, Adam Gavlas beating Kevin Dowitz 10-8. Andrew Gilding beating Luke Woodhouse 10-5. There you see the result there. Chris Dobie 10-6. Loser against Brendan Dolan and Rob Cross. The world number 5 as things stand, currently winning Steve Beaton by 10 legs to 3. That's all the scores. We've got one game left, which is this one here between Peter Wright and Callum Ridds. I know it says 8-6 on the scoreboard. It's not the case. It is currently 8-7, and Ridds wants 85 after Wright set up tops. Should get a dart the ball here. Well, that's just silly, isn't it? 16 bull. And it goes on the outside of the 25. So misses the ball for 8-all. Wright wanting tops. And he pings it as well, 9-7, and he's throwing for the match. So, Dan, while we have a minute and while we're waiting for this draw, what has been your standout performance today, do we think?
In terms of a standout performance, I suppose I'll name there's a couple, to be honest. In that, very hard to look past the fact that Luke Humphries knocked out the world number 1 with the pressure that's probably on him with the Premier League selection and everything else that's going on. Big performance from Luke Humphries. Have to mention Gary Anderson. Played some absolutely amazing stuff. Stuffed Kim Hybrex 10-2. Looked really comfortable in the process. Jeffrey Deswan, how can you not talk about that outrageous performance?
Game of the day for me by a long chalk.
And I tell you what, the other one, really impressed by William O'Connor, just very much keeping his composure. That he could have lost that game 5 times over, and every time it looked like Noppy was going to just get away. He just found a way to peg him back and stuck around in the end. Again, Noppy broke at the right time to then throw for the match. O'Connor found a way to cling on in, broke back, and then just really exciting end to a game. It was where there was a lot going on all at the same time. And I think that because of some other big stuff that went on, O'Connor's performance, we didn't talk a lot about, but he was really, really impressive in that match.
4 off, Arsenal 2-2.
Never.
Yeah, 2-all. Reeds wanting 32 to get another break of throw. Wright has not had a great leg on throw in this match. Double 16 goes inside. Double 8 pings, and we're back on throw at 9-8.
Oh,
This match.
Goodness gracious. And we're pretty much caught up, are we not, on the old...
We're one leg behind slightly, I think.
Are we?
Yeah, we're one leg behind. Rids has started off with a 1-3-4. Right answers with a 140.
It's just done something wacky again there.
We are at 9-8 in this game. Appreciate live darts data being a bit of a pain in the arse. But Rids has just hit a ton to leave 2-6-7. What can Wright do with the response? Finds a treble 20 first dart. Second dart over pitched, over and too high. Third dart well over. I think it might have deflected off the flight, but it's still a ton. 2-6-1 plays 2-6-7. I think we are pretty much up to date now, which is good.
We're about 20 seconds behind, aren't we? We're not far at all.
115 to leave himself on 152. Right now, how can he respond? Finds a treble 20. Has he blocked the bed, though? No, he hasn't. Finds a second. Can he find a third one for the bedfellow? No, he can't underneath. But he leaves himself on 121. Rids is on 152. Finds it. Can't find a treble 20. He's blocked the bed and he stays up there to leave himself on 92. So Peter Wright's coming back for a 1-2-1 for the match. Treble 20 can't be found. Looking for the 17s. He doesn't get that either. So Rids will be back for 92 and a chance at a level game. Finds a treble 16, though, to leave double 18 if he's allowed back. We are now back live with live darts data as well. Bullseye not found. 92. Now looking for top for the bull again. Can't find it. Right. Double 18. For another gritty performance from Peter Snakebite Wright. He hasn't got any Premier League points, but he has got himself into round number 6 of the Kazoo UK Open. He's the final ball. Ball number 16 is Peter Snakebite Wright. With that, Dan's hopes of any Northeast success are gone.
The North, it just wasn't to be for the Northeast boys, unfortunately.
All the scores then, as we can see there. So we will go through the balls for you. The draw will be coming up in a moment or two as soon as we are back on ITV4 from the break. So Jeffrey Desvan will be ball 1. Ball number 2, William O'Connor. Ball number 3, Adam Gavlas. Ball number 4, Richie Burnett. Ball number 5, Gary Anderson. Ball number 6, Martin Schindler. Ball number 7, Luke Humphreys. Ball number 8, Andrew Gilding. Ball 9, Joe Cullen. Ball 10, Nathan Aspinall. Ball 11, Brendan Dolan. Ball 12, Michael Van Gerwen. Ball 13, Johnny Clayton. Ball 14, Rob Cross. Ball 15, Dimitri van den Berg. And then Peter Wright is ball number 16. What an afternoon, mate.
Yeah, I mean, there's some amazing darts in there. Some really top stuff. Some big surprises. Some unsurprising results. Some close games. Like everything, really. Everything you would want and expect from this stage of this tournament. Like really, really good. We've still got a player ranked in the 90s in the tournament. We've still got a player ranked in the 70s. We've got a player ranked in the 50s. We this isn't just ending up with the last 16. There is a potentially, I mean, some of the potential matches that could be about to come out in this draw are like stunning, for want of a better word, aren't they? You know, we could see some all Premier League clashes.
Half the field though, and I think this is where I need to mention it about darts in particular at the minute. Half the field are in the top 12, which goes to show you the strength and depth in darts isn't really there. But half the field though in the top 12 is quite a decent number, I think.
Yeah, I think it. But we could also see like Jeffrey Deswan against Richie Burnett in the next round.
The beauty of an open draw,
with one of them guaranteed a quarter final.
Yes,
which is marvelous, isn't it? That's like, this is, you know, that you're gonna, and that's when that's when you're gonna start to see, you know, who's actually, like, you know, one of two people is gonna go really deep in this.
Just looking here,
we could also see Peter Wright against Michael Van Gerwen.
Gary Anderson, if he can produce it again, if he wins this tournament, and I appreciate it's still a long way to go, but if he were to win this tournament, he'd back up into the top 16.
Because, well, see, Gary's been playing so well, so well. But because, let's just say, and this isn't, and I'm not being unfair, I don't think here, but, you know, let's say that Gary Anderson gets drawn against a Gavalas or a Burnett or a Deswan, you know, somebody outside of the top 10, and can put another, you know, 10-4, 10-5 performance in, then he's building up such a head of steam, is, you know, with the way that he's played and the results that he's had. He really could go on and do something, couldn't he? He really, really could.
Well, here we go. The UK Open 6th round draw is about to take place. I think, as everyone's filing back into the.
Oh, I'll let you lead on this because I'm still watching Life Insurance and Guide Dogs, and
yeah. Well, we're almost there. I think we're almost ready to go. I suspect. They're just having a bit of a discussion, both Jackie and Mark Webster. They're normally pretty handy at getting this draw underway, so I kind of would like it, because I've got to get changed and I've got to get ready to get out.
The rate at which they've been pulling those balls out is quite impressive. I've noticed this week as well.
They just don't give a shite, do they? Right, next.
Yeah, only a matter of time though, because of using a ball like I've always thought, certainly on a stage like that, is a recipe for disaster, because it only takes one mishandling for that ball to be dropped, roll off the front of the stage. Like I can't believe no one's dropped one yet. Oh, they're on stage though. You can see them in the background. Come on.
Right, so looks like we're still having a chin wag. Final bit of village notices before we get going. That it's going to be our coverage of the day is done. We are not back tonight because there's only two boards. You can watch them side by side, so there's no point us being on. Then after that, we are going to be back with you Monday night. Not myself and Dan, but it's going to be Phil Bars, Jack Obigawa, and Lee Boyce back with you for the live lounge at 8. And don't forget that if you do need some more darts after 7 o'clock this evening with the UK Open, you can watch the MODUS Super Series. So you can watch that night tonight from 10 o'clock. You can hear Glenn Durrant, Chris Murphy, and Henry Deacon guiding you through all of the action. And then lots more stuff to come with OD. I think there's a Players' Championship next weekend.
You know, I was literally just having a look at when that is, because I've sort of got in my head that we might be back in Barnsley relatively soon.
We are next weekend.
Is it next weekend? Rightio.
So Pro Tour Live is back next weekend. All 16 boards, all covered for you.
Oh, well, I might be back in this seat then.
Here we go.
Persuade Mrs. S.
Here we go.
Right, I'll let you call this one, mate.
6th round draw of the Kazoo UK Open. Only 8 ties to be drawn. And John McDonald is getting Alan Warren Little and Chris Mason involved. It's going to be number 12, which is Michael Van Gerwen, first out. And he will play number 6, which is Luke Humphreys.
What?
So your reward for beating the world number 1, you get a 3-time world champion.
That's massive, you know. That's a huge game.
Peter Wright out next, and he plays Richie Burnett.
Hey, yes. Classic.
Here we go. More of this. Johnny Clayton next out. He will play Jeffrey Deswan. That one, I think, is going on stage 2.
Correct.
Wow, that would have been Clayton against Wright. Oh, Martin Schindler, actually. Johnny Clayton against Martin Schindler, it is. Don't know why that. Jeffrey Desvan is next out. He plays Rob Cross. Harry Anderson will play number 15, which is Dimitri Vandenberg.
Oh!
2020 World Match Play Final. Brendan Dolan next out. He plays number 8, which is Andrew Gilding. Both players will be happy with that draw.
Yeah.
And the final one, William O'Connor will play Adam Gavlas.
Unsurprisingly.
Yeah, that's going straight to stage 2. And finally, final game, Nathan Aspinall will play Joe Cullen.
That's a big one.
So
yeah.
There's your draw, just popping up there. UK Open 6th round draw. Michael Van Gerwen against Luke Humphreys. Peter Wright against Richie Burnett. Johnny Clayton against Martin Schindler. Jeffrey Desvan against Rob Cross. Gary Anderson versus Dimitri Vandenberg. Brendan Dolan against Andrew Gilding. And finally, William O'Connor against Adam Gavlas. And Nathan Aspinall against Joe Cullen. I'm going to suggest Van Gerwen, Humphreys, Anderson, Vandenberg, Nathan Aspinall, Cullen, and probably I'm going to say Peter Wright, Richie Burnett on the main stage.
Wright, Burnett's up there. MVG will be on there. You can't really not put Cullen up there.
Yeah. I think the rest of them are going on the outside boards. So
almost picks itself, doesn't it? I think the ITV set.
So there we go. Right. That's it. That is the 2023 UK Open done for us here on Online Darts. Dan, I'm glad that you were recovered, mate. I'm glad that you're feeling better. I will be messaging you at 11:59 a.m. on Monday morning to make sure that we're all ready to go and book our trip to the seaside next year.
Let's do it.
Thanks, pal. Have a good one, mate. Enjoy the rest of your
take care, mate. Thanks, everybody.
Take care, everyone. We'll be back Monday night, live lounge. Don't forget, 8 o'clock. UK Open back with 2 boards live on ITV4 and PDC TV, stages 2 to 8. Stage 2 only, actually, on PDC TV. We'll see you again very, very soon. And don't forget, Pro Tour Live next Saturday and Sunday as well to guide you through all the Pro Tour action. From all of us, though, here on Online Darts, really appreciate your company. Take care. We'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye. I can find the outside. Hang on a minute. Yeah. Bye.